Yo, 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 it's your boy Combo Heaven, and I want to wish everybody watching a Merry Christmas. It's currently 9:43, bordering on 9:45, and we're going to have a nice little cozy Christmas Eve stream. I wish I could play some Christmas music in the background, but unfortunately, YouTube will literally take down the live stream midstream if I do so. So just hum it in your heads while we enjoy some good old-fashioned Mortal Kombat gameplay.
Sub-Zero.
I don't think they can time me out if I just sing the songs. This Christmas. I'm not gonna do that anyway. That seems cringe.
Serena.
Wait, no, I should do
Sub-Zero. Shujinko.
Alright. So we're gonna have some fun, play Sub-Zero. I'm gonna be a lot nicer than usual, and that's the stream. For about 2 hours, bordering on 2.5. Let's just have some fun. And feel free to talk with me in the comments. I'll respond to everything. Obviously, I'm doing viewer sets because I always do viewer sets, and let's just enjoy ourselves. Hello, friend. Jaden Moore, Omar Goma, nice to see you all. And nice to meet you, OG Sweats Fat Guy. Merry Christmas. I hope me kicking your ass doesn't make your day any less great.
Round one.
Because that is what's going to happen. Is that an overhit or a low? You know what? Either way, I should have just jumped.
Round two. Fight.
Nice try. Lottie, I am not a sub main, but I am a Sub-Zero enjoyer. Mr. AP Cam, I know that's not you in the chat. Don't let me catch you slipping. Don't let me catch you slipping, because you already know what I can do. Have a holly jolly Christmas. It's a wonderful time of the year. And mistletoe and the mistletoe. Wonderful time of the year. Christmas. Oh crap, I'm gonna lose. No, I'm not. Okay, that was good. Okay, let me read the chat. Mr. AP Chem, are you watching or can you get on? Because we are well overdue for a link up.
Win.
I've been meaning to show you a lot of things that I found out with Sub-Zero that I may or may not be skilled enough to showcase in a real match because I am not good with using Sub-Zero. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to Serena now. Jaden Monroe, can you show me a Scorpion combo? Not in this stream, Jaden Monroe, but I do have a Scorpion combo guide coming up. It should be out by before the end of the year. So in 6 days.
Fight.
Not blocking, I see. Definitely good. I caught you. Have you ever seen that before? Nice mash. But can you confirm? That was good. I guess wrong. Sorry, but it's over. Alright, that's a bet. Let me know when you get online, and then I'll literally drop everything, because I hate playing Common League. Even if I'm fighting good players. I don't like the stress. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, and the fire is so delightful. Since there's no place to go, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, this weather show no signs of stopping. So I've got some corn for popping. The weather's turned way down below. Let it snow, let it snow. Let me know if my singing is so horrible and you want me to desperately shut up. I'm just enjoying myself. This applies to both my opponent and the chat. I do not want to subject anybody watching to things that they do not want to listen to. Aw, man. Is it hard remembering the cast combos? Honestly, Lottie, it just gets easier with time. It's kind of the same way you learn a skill in a sport. The more you do it, the more second nature it becomes. Lesk HD, welcome to the stream. AP Chem, I appreciate that.
Round one.
I'm not really a practicing singer, but I was in choir for a little bit, so I guess that's why I don't sound awful, but... I couldn't duck it. No. Nice check. Good confirm. Oh, you could have gone for more damage. Okay, let's see what happens here. I should have disrespected it. Okay, you're gonna choke. I love that links, because before you could block it. Good grab. I'm not giving up without the fight. Ah, that could have been crazy. That was good. Ben Lades, thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to you too. I would just love if he had one projectile that you can't jump over. Aw, man. That always happens sometimes in lag. Wait, he didn't get frozen? That's interesting. I think I might lose this one. That was a good fight.
Enjoy the Netherrealm.
So much for letting it snow.
General Shao wins.
Maybe he's more of a Jingle Bells type. Thanks for the fight. I'm gonna switch to casuals now so my win-loss record doesn't get ruined. Better yet, I think AP Chem is on now, so maybe I don't need to play online at all anymore. Rocking around the Christmas tree. Actually, oddly, Zay, as soon as AP Chem comes on, that may or may not end up being the rest of the stream. So if you want, we can play right now. Oddly, Zay, are you still in the chat? Lottie, that's true. I may share your comments. It would be so much fun. Lottie, I appreciate that, but honestly, now I kind of feel bad. Full disclosure, the reason I haven't made a Shang combo video is because I've been gatekeeping it. You heard it here first from me before the trailer comes out, but I plan on gatekeeping the the Shang Tsung video as a 20K special. So I'm basically gonna say, you guys need to get me to 20K subscribers, and then I'll drop the Shang video. And if I hypothetically never get there, then hypothetically the video never comes out. But I know realistically I'll get there like within a month. But I'm also going to do like something crazy at the start of Christmas where I'm just gonna upload like a bunch of times in a day for the next 5 to 7 days to see if I can just get to 20K subscribers in like 6 days. I think I'm gonna brand it as a festival. Oddly Zayd, if you're on PlayStation, you can just invite me right now. It's Combo Heaven. If you're on WB, just let me know what your WB is, and then I can add you. And AP Chem, let me know the instant you're online. Oh, that's perfect. Oddly Zayd, where are you at? All right, while I wait, I'll go on casuals. Is there a link to Cyrax combos? Oh, he just gave me his WB. Ben Lotz, I'm a little confused. Do you mean the cameo or the character? If you mean the character, then I did in fact make a Cyrax combo video. If you go to playlists on my channel, you'll find a public playlist that shows all of the combo videos for every character in the game. With the exception of Shang Tsung, I've already made at least one combo video for a character. Let me see. So if you're talking about, oh yeah, so the character. Yeah, I made a combo video for her like as soon as she came out, maybe like a week after that. You should just go to just go to the playlist. It should say combo videos for all characters, something like that. WB Bombshell. I should rearrange my YouTube channel to where that playlist is actually like, what's what I'm looking for? I guess it's this. I don't know why it's WB is Bombshell, but it comes out as that. What character do you think who do you think is the best cameo? So with Cyrax, here's the thing with Cyrax. Cyrax is a hardcore reset character, so honestly, she doesn't even really need a cameo to play her game. It really just depends on the matchup. She's one of those characters where it's like the assist you pick is literally just your defensive mechanic. Because her offense, everything about it, it's built into her base character. There isn't a single cameo in the game that can even help with her offense in the first place, other than maybe give her combos a little bit more damage. But because she's a reset character, damage is honestly a novelty. She doesn't need it because everything just resets into itself. So cameos, I guess if I just had to give you a straight answer, what people will try to do with Cyrax is that they'll try to use sub cameo, and so they can just zone her out. So you want sub cameo yourself, so you have more options. Because the goop is really good for trading, but there are some characters that can just outzone her, and they'll just pick those characters and then run Sub-Zero cameo and run away. For example, if I'm fighting a Cyrax and I'm forced to use my main, which is either Katana or Noob, I'm gonna run Sub-Zero cameo on top of that, kind of just run away and force her to fuck up, and then I'm gonna go in for the kill. Did he accept the invite yet? Let's see. If it'll let me invite them, then let me see accept it. Yep, he's ready. He was on PlayStation the entire time. We could have just done that. So Cyrex is pretty cool. The thing is, Cyrex already has a meter drain ability all on her own. So what you're getting with Cyrex is just a version of it that doesn't cost meter, which I guess isn't nothing. It's definitely a flashy team. I wouldn't call it her best. That's a team you would run if you're not fighting if you're fighting a person that doesn't even know how to fight Cyrex, so you want your shit to be even more oppressive. Because if you're fighting somebody who's using Sub-Zero cameo, the last thing you want to do is not have Sub-Zero cameo yourself. Another cameo I would recommend is any assist that can make it to where it can bypass the sub cameo defensive technique, because the technique is basically where you wake up sub armor and then eat the grab, or better yet, duck the grab on a hard read and then punish them, and because the bomb won't work. And this only works on Cyrex because the bomb takes forever to explode. Like, it won't work if you were to try to use this against Sub-Zero's mix, for example.
Siren. Smoke. Sub-Zero. Scorpion.
Interesting. What do I do with this? What do I get? I wonder what I steal from him. I think it's Spear.
The pyramid.
You would shed your brother's blood because you choose to stand in my way.
I really hope this lagging is just because he's on Wi-Fi and not me. I'll deal with a lag connection for a subscriber. I just want to make sure that it's them and not. Okay, these are coming out as hot flashes. My God. Hold on, he's got swag. Oh dear. It's really hard to tell if my combos are hitting or not because the game is so lagged out that I cannot tell. I just have to hope that that he's getting hit. Yeah, this is actually impossible. Sonic Fox was not kidding when you said Scorpion and Lag is like the best character. What is that? I thought iOS. I'm losing viewers. No. Can't move.
Final round. Fight!
Oh, why did that reach me? It's not even just the fact that you're on Wi-Fi. You have to be far away because this is bad. Like Australia bad. Yeah, I cannot fight this. It's really impossible. Oh my god, this is really bad. Friend, I am really sorry, but I honestly have to end the set here. This is just way too much.
Sub-Zero wins.
Like, if I keep this up, it's probably going to crash my stream. Like, this is not okay. No problem, Oddly Zaid. Could remind me, what area do you live in? Like the general area of the world. You don't need to get crazy specific. Like, do you live in America at least? Because it was really bad. Like to give you perspective, one of my video game friends, somebody I play Mortal Kombat with a lot. Maybe you've even seen him, Rick. He's all the way in like Europe. Like I want to say England, and our connection is fine. Like we've never had an actual lag spike, but he's far. I'm not sure if I think sometimes he's even on Wi-Fi and it's still fine. So I really want to know exactly how far away you are, because it's, oof.
Frost.
Hello, Zayden Lords. Merry Christmas.
You want peace? Let us be.
Lin Kuei's sins are not easily forgiven.
Oh, okay, so it's definitely your connection. It's not just the distance.
Round one. Fight.
Let's begin. Oops, I messed it up. Hey, Rod, welcome to the stream. Ouch. That worked out. Ooh, why are we not blocking? Why are we not blocking? Why are we not blocking? Don't you just love sexy conversions? I know I do. I couldn't flawless block it? No. It could be better. Don't you just hate it when anti-airs aren't anti-airing your anti-airs?
Round. Fight.
Do that job, but you're not gonna do like it. Aw, that was mean. I'll just make this faster.
Sub-Zero wins.
This lag is making this unplayable. I'll have to move on. Somebody just joined the server. Aw, I was looking forward to the fight. Everybody needs a best friend. Nice.
Sub-Zero.
Oh, a Cyrex player? That could be fun.
Cyrax. Darius.
Don't get anything good from her with who's her name? Shujinko, so I'll use this.
Serena. Living Forest.
You follow Kuai Liang to an early grave.
If so, I will at least die with honor.
Round one. Fight.
I've never seen Cyrex Darius before. This should be interesting. Won't be a total disaster. This is gonna get. Nope, you won't get your combo in time. I'm bored. Random command grab? Interesting choice of action.
Round two. Fight.
Well, that was a choice. That was also a choice. Okay, now I'm making poor choices. Ouch. Nice boat. You should have gone for the command grab. Oh, that tears? I'm pretty sure this is optimal, by the way, in case you were wondering. Shot by 8. Merry Christmas. Thought I could slow him down. Auto armor breaking mid.
Time goes short for you.
Final round. Fight.
That didn't punish? Why is it taking so long for her to come back? I knew I shouldn't have went for that combo in this internet. God, why is this connection so laggy? Is it me?
Sub-Zero wins.
No, my internet's still at all 4 bars. Sorry, I gotta move on. Shabe, I'm doing just fine. Definitely a lot happier since I started this stream. Christmas Eve is a very weird time for me. But hey, things are better than usual because I actually have somewhere to be this Christmas for once. Usually that's not the case. Combo, how do you beat the Cyrax bomb net setup? Okay, so K-Rod, here's what you want to do. First thing you want to do is pick Sub-Zero Cameo. Then, on knockdown, you're going to activate Sub-Zero Cameo, hold block, and then duck the command grab. You should be able to punish them with anything after that because the bomb won't work. I can show you an example later if you don't quite understand what I mean. I can't see it very clearly. Tip Courtney, welcome. Merry Christmas. Ooh, I love me some jambalaya. I love it the way my grandma used to make it. Because she made it from scratch. Like, getting it from the box is fine, but I don't know how, but she just puts all of the ingredients together perfectly. And the kick is straight from the devil's lettuce. Okay, how do I deal with a Liu Kang? But I'll run Serena again. Let me know when you guys are getting bored of my variation choices and you want me to mix it up, because there are plenty of Sub-Zero teams you can use.
Lin Kuei's sins are not easily forgiven.
Yeah, in fact, I might go for Cyrax next. Maybe, I don't know. No, I should probably lap the Cyrax throw combos before I risk using that. That's a start. And that was a choice. You should have confirmed. Why did you give me that? Stupid game. Sorry, I expected a little jump at some. Have you ever seen that before, my friend? This is how you truly play Sub-Zero. AP Chem, if you're still watching, this was one of the main things I wanted to show you. It's a new tech that most people don't realize is new about Sub-Zero. And it honestly really completes his character. Hold on. That was delicious. I'm impressed. Are you gonna armor? Got you. Merry Christmas. I hate it when they break away when I'm about to do a big combo in a real match. I need the footage for a Sub-Zero combo video. I'm gonna record that setup clip though. That's gonna be useful. You can try using Sub-Zero with Jax and Goro. Ooh, great challenge, especially with Jax. Because Sub-Zero Jax is the hardest Sub-Zero team that you could possibly pick up, but it's also one of the strongest if you master it. Because he really does give you just about everything except, I don't know, grab combo. Actually, he might even give you that. I haven't labbed it. It depends on where Jax leaves you if you can get the side switch grab to even work. If it does, we may have something even greater. Sub-Zero... Pantherias, Merry Christmas.
Sub-Zero.
I plan to deliver snow, good times, and a fancy brutality combo. Ooh, I can use Shujinko. I'll throw in Tremor just for K-Rod, you'd be surprised what Tremor is capable of.
There's a bonus round.
Round one, fight.
Free. How dare you rudely interrupt Shujinko's charging? That's so rude. Nice. Show me what you got. I'm liking it. You dropped it. Ah, that sucks. Ooh, it's messing up my inputs. It gave me the wrong one. That's it. That wasn't the Shujinko steal I wanted at all. I'll just try again next round.
You have no chance.
Round 2. Fight.
Can you play the game and shut up?
Hey, don't be me. It's Christmas.
Stop poking.
Come on, have some holiday cheer. Don't be a party pooper.
Why break?
K-Rod, who's Cass? Am I supposed to know who that is? Oh, that's awesome. I actually do YouTube myself, but probably not as famous as you.
Finish him.
Got 5,000 subscribers and I'm monetized.
Oh, that's nice. I'm at 19,468 something. I don't know. That's awesome.
How many members do you got?
Members?
Are you monetized?
Yeah, ad revenue. Oh, you mean the membership program? I think I only have 3 members, but honestly, I don't use it very much. It's kind of just there.
I just got monetized yesterday.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. You definitely deserve to make money for making content because it's not easy to do.
Sub-Zero.
Why you so nice, man? Jesus Christ.
Well, 1, it's Christmas, and 2, I'm just being genuine. Like, why not be nice? Why be mean? That's the real question.
I don't celebrate Christmas.
Oh, that's fine. Happy holidays then.
Chameleon.
Well, either way, this is just the time of the year where you just want to be a bit more positive.
I am not.
Really, you should be more positive in general, but this is really just the perfect
No
excuse.
positive. I only use villain characters.
Round 1. Fight.
What? As long as it, well, if that makes you happy. Why did I use Chameleon?
Don't.
Is that a mid?
Round 2. Fight.
I really don't see the point. Why do people like this team so much? Oh, I really don't know what else to do with this team. I don't actually use the move at all. I kind of just was paying attention. I think he got it.
You're not gonna win this. Punch my second main.
Let me read what the chat is saying. He has his own YouTube channel. Cass is a YouTuber from Jamaica. Oh, you're from Jamaica. I'm actually a little
Who the
Jamaican
hell
as
is
well.
that? Who the
Oh,
hell
I'm
is that
just
in your chat who knows me?
you're a
Not
YouTuber, right?
famous.
I imagine there are quite a few people who know you.
What's that person name?
Yeah, he goes by KRod7435. He says
Fraud,
he
that's
says
fraud.
he's seen you on Do Gaming and Sikander 555.
Sub-Zero.
Oh, that's
Okay,
fraud.
what team should I
Yeah,
actually
you've been in my chat. You've been in my chat.
Quan Chi. Serena.
this work? Maybe? Certainly better than nothing.
Bravado.
What's your YouTube channel name?
Chaosium.
Combo Heaven. It's spelled how it sounds.
I no longer need your assistance.
I preface it that way because a lot of people will spell their names weird. Yeah, Combo
Is
Heaven.
that combo with the K or C?
Oh, Combo with a C. It's spelled how it sounds.
Why are you mashing? Not mashing. I gotta let my lead. I'm pressing my orange button.
Well, that's unfortunate.
The sisterhood will see you now.
Round 2. Fight.
Get back in the car.
Why can't I move? My inputs are being stalled. It could just be an execution. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know it worked. I didn't know it worked if I already landed the hit.
You could have died.
Is that a random overhead?
Can you use your main? You're not gonna win versus my second main win that shit.
Quan Chi wins.
I'm bored
Sure,
right
I
now.
guess.
I'm bored.
If that's what you
Bored
want.
my channel. Sub-Zero is your main is on your calling card.
Neither. I just use Sub-Zero because my viewers like Sub-Zero and they wanted to see more content from him. A lot of people
Okay,
get the wrong idea.
I got a viewer who main Sub-Zero to let me use him for it.
Sub-Zero. Kitana. Serena.
Wait, why do you want to switch? I thought you wanted me to pick my main character. This is the character I
use.
This is the character. This is the team I would use if I were actually trying to win. But I'm trying to use Sub-Zero because it's Christmas.
Serena.
Since you're using Serena, I'll use something different. Have a Goro.
Goro.
Alright, I'm gonna go where Sub-Zero betrays everybody.
Tomb of the Dragon Army.
I will command the Lin Kuei. They will freeze you out, pretender.
Tell Crowd I said hi.
Round 1. Fight.
Which one is me? I got my combo, yo. I haven't used something in a while.
never seen that
What
before.
is that damage, yo?
It's the main reason you would use Sub-Goro. Well, one of two reasons you would use Sub-Goro.
You gotta... Oh. Why you talk so much, man?
Because I have an audience, and also it's fun talking to people.
Round 2. Fight.
So you go for your
I
audience?
don't think I was talking that much, man. I'm usually talking a lot more.
Why is my Sarina not coming out, yo?
You're probably just mashing the button. You gotta be more patient.
Come on, yo. What the fuck?
Ooh, that was fumble. But that's okay, they still did about 50%.
Watch this. The MK11 page upload didn't work.
Welcome to Mortal Kombat 1, a game where scrubbery meets skill in a deadly clash.
Wins.
This fucking game is scrub all over. There's no skill required to play this game.
I suppose we have a difference of opinion. Actually, let me do a quick execution check. I'm a little annoyed that I dropped that combo.
Sub-Zero, Reptile, Goro, Sonya Blade, the Gateway.
Whoops. Whoops. Why am I dropping it now? There it is. Okay, so maybe that doesn't work. Because look at what's happening now. So what should I do instead? Yeah, it doesn't link. I suppose I could just do nothing? No way, I know it's cool. Ah, that doesn't work? Alright, perfect. Oh, see, I found him. He joined the stream. Catch him. I left because I had something to do. I have a YouTuber that's gonna be online any second now, and I'm probably gonna dedicate most of the stream to him. Oh, see, I found your channel. Hold on, let me hit the subscribe button, and boom. All right, now I have something I can use with Sub-Goro. Ooh, while I'm at it, let me go ahead and do a quick execution check on my sub Jax because a subscriber wanted me to use him as well. Oh, fun. Okay, I think my execution. Wait, no, let me do the mid-screen check. Okay, maybe let's try standing through. Whoops. Fast fingers. Alright, back to online. Just wanted to do a quick little execution check on some of my stuff. I should probably do this with my Shujinko stuff too, but I'll be fine. Let's give KL one more try. And why would I torture myself? Cash stream, you don't need to label yourself like a villain. Unless you're just labeling yourself like that for fun. You don't seem like that bad of a guy. Trust me, I've lived with some very bad people. So no need to, speak so critically about yourself. I had a good time. Oh, I'm ready right now. AP Chem, fuck this shit. You know I don't like playing this game online. Yep, I'll just sit back and relax. Actually, let me create the party right now. Wait, no, he's on PC. Let me just send the practice invite so I should be able to see him. Okay, he's not online yet. Wait, maybe I added him on this too. Nope, need to wait a little bit longer. Oh, you meant that from a brand perspective. All right. See, sometimes people literally call themselves a villain in the fighting game community, and I really don't like that. I don't like that, me personally. I just think it's a very nasty narrative to embrace. And I get it from a logistical standpoint, whereas your content or your like whole brand is seen as negative, so you paint yourself as a villain. For example, Sikander kind of does this. However, I don't think it's very good in the long run because it just creates a narrative where you're just inviting toxicity into your community and your livelihood, and it can be very self-destructive. At one point, I was considered like an FGC villain, and that is not a label I wanted to wear, so I stepped away from it. It's for this reason that I'm actually not very consistent with the competitive scene, because I don't like very much interacting with them because of that label that they tried to paint on me. Yeah, K-Ron, I'm good. Oh, I have him added on PlayStation. I wouldn't call him my friend, not in a disrespectful way. It's just that we don't know each other like that. And I also know he's in the competitive scene, so I don't want him to be negatively associated with anything, regarding me in the comp scene, because, like I literally just said, the comp scene is not very fond of me. But yeah, like we've interacted, we've talked before, we went on online practice mode together. Just overall, just gone over what Sub-Zero has to offer as I've studied the character. Okay, a little bit longer. Raiden? Cashroom, why do you think I should main Raiden? Do you just think I would enjoy him? Because
Raiden.
Raiden's okay. Here's my thing with Raiden. He's kind of just a weaker version of, like, 3 other different types of characters. Oh, honest. I appreciate that. But honestly, I'm not, well, I guess I am a nice person in real life, but I don't know if you've seen my other streams before. I can definitely get toxic. I'm just going out of my way to not be that today because, it's Christmas. Everybody should have a positive time and enjoy themselves this time of year. I don't know. Raiden is just kind of a weird character. Like, he's basically a strike throw character in this game with staggers, but there are like 3 other characters who do that better than him. Better than Raiden. Fuck. Who's his name? Liu Kang is the best strike throw character in the game. That's literally his whole archetype. Rain plays strike throw better than him. Ermac is like the second best strike throw character in the game. He plays it differently than everyone, but he's like the second best at it overall. I even think Takeda is a better strike throw character than Raiden. So Raiden is a very good character, but you're legitimately only playing Raiden if you like Raiden. You're not playing him for anything about his gameplay because his gameplay isn't as unique as it could be. They should do a lot more with Raiden's orbs to make him stand out a bit more. For example, Takeda, he has his Shuriken, which gives him a very unique set play archetype. Ermac has his very, very, really good pressure and his unique combos. Rain is just an all-around great character with unique animations and high execution. And Baraka is savage, and he actually still has really good damage. A lot of people don't realize this, but Baraka is actually still one of the highest damage characters in the game. And people think he doesn't have damage, like he doesn't have an identity as a character. That is not true. He's literally a strike throw mad damage character, and I cannot wait to make a combo guide for Baraka so I can educate people on how, I don't want to say cracked, but on how crazy he can get. Who else? Oh, and this guy. This guy is your Shoto. This is the character you want to pick if you've never played a fighting game before, and your first one is this game. That is what Liu Kang is. Okay, I think AP Chem is on by now because he said it was getting on like 5 minutes ago. Oh, see, online notification. He probably already sent me an invite. Retrieving social data. Please stop taking forever. Come on, any second now. Any second now. Yep, there it is. Cashium, I really wish you used Havoc, because I like Havoc, especially when people know what they're doing. Like, as broken as Havoc is, I would rather a broken character be at least fun to play and fun to watch than for a broken character to be like, I don't know, right at the top of my head. I don't think anybody wants to watch Scorpion Jax. Oh, I'm immediately going to do something to the sensitivities to fix that.
Sub-Zero. Serena. Sundo.
Hold on, let me just do a few things to make sure this doesn't crash. Turn this off, turn this off. Okay, the movement feels fine now. AP Chem, is your mic working? Or do you not use a mic when you record these? That would actually make a lot of sense. And NW360, I do have a combo video for Rain. Just check my public playlist. I should really fix that on my channel. People should be able to see it. I don't know if he has a mic or not. He's either putting it on or he's about to explain to me why he doesn't use his mic. So the main thing I noticed with Sub-Zero is this. And I dropped it. And I dropped it again. Yep. You'd think I'd be more used to online delay because I play really old fighting games very often. Why? This is gonna take all day. I don't get it. I literally did this in a real match like 5 minutes ago. And I dropped it again. I'm not even good at this. Okay, the point I was trying to make is that I've noticed that in your videos you haven't really explained too much about what this does, and this is probably because of the false perception that this is just a combo tool. And don't get me wrong, it definitely is a combo tool, but it also gives Sub-Zero access to his archetype without a cameo. Like, no! Now we're gonna skip this one part. There it is. You get the point. So that's literally what base Sub-Zero has become. And if you have a good hit confirm assist like Serena, Chameleon, even Frost or Sub-Zero, you basically get a very easy mode version of Sub-Zero's archetype in the corner. Because what you just saw, it breaks armor, it ignores delayed wake up. You cannot low block out of it because it's an instantaneous mix up. There's no wiggle room. I'm literally strike throwing you almost immediately as you get up off the ground. The reason for this is because of the animation on a get up. There's legitimately no time. Your execution has to be perfect. If you fuck it up, the setup could end up not working anyway. And because of this, yes, it makes it harder to execute in a real match, but the payoff is that now it's basically impossible to have counterplay for it. There is no counterplay for this setup, really, other than, you know, delaying your wake up and hope they guess wrong, but that's not really counterplay. That's just turning it into a slightly more complicated mix-up. There is no real answer for this. You kind of just have to take it. It's also unduckable. It's a little inconsistent. It might even be a glitch. For this, you can't duck it if I space it properly. And what I mean by this is if you duck it, Ice Clone will randomly freeze you anyway. You'll duck and then you'll get frozen anyway. And the way it happens is how you duck. So when somebody does the setup and they respect the setup, they're probably going to duck on wake up. Get frozen. It's a little inconsistent, but I've seen it happen multiple times, even on high-level sets against like really good players. They'll duck on wake up and just get frozen anyway. It might be random, like how in MK9 there were characters that had random frame data. It might work that way, but that's just an extra layer of fuck you on top of this tech. So if you're going to read a grab, you actually have to duck and then low block immediately to avoid getting instantaneously frozen. And a lot of people don't know this. And sometimes it still doesn't work, because the timing is a just frame. The timing is also a just frame for the player to execute the tech. But as I said, this works out in our favor, because it now eliminates the variables for counterplay to ensue. Now, delaying your wake up makes things a little bit more complicated. You can beat delay wake up the same way normal Ice Clone can beat delay wake up, which is waiting. Yeah, that can also happen. Yeah, the glitch also happens on delay wake up. So it's kind of funny. And what I'm trying to show you is that I can still do back 3 or forward grab and it still works. I'm dropping it because I suck at the game. That's another thing that can happen. Like, genuinely, this setup is the hardest thing to do with Sub-Zero now. I've never even seen Sikander pull this off before. The first person I've ever seen use this tech is just Mizu. Literal game changer. And this is good with Serena, great with Serena even. But it's even better with this assist. Wait, I think he's Shujinko. When you have a really strong when you're a character that has a really strong default character foundation, one of your best characters will end up being Shujinko, because it'll basically give you the base foundation of what your character's archetype is with more damage, because that's what Shujinko is. Sub-Zero with more damage, which is one of his three main weaknesses: having no foundation in the full screen, having no damage, and his frame data being not great. Like this not being fast. Those are the three main issues that Sub-Zero has. This isn't as fast as it should be. His full screen presence is trash, and his damage isn't good. Shujinko takes one of those things off the table, and the buff to Iceborne in mid-screen takes the other thing off of the table. So, wrong one. This it's easier to show how devastating this team is against anybody other than a mirror, but even in a mirror, the timing is okay. The timing is weird. You have to do a slide as fast as humanly possible, and this only applies against Sub-Zero. There's a lot of matchup knowledge that you need to study. Use this team. Literally, I spent 3 hours labbing this team. Why? It's not even hard. I swear, I'm just not a good Sub-Zero player. I don't know how I don't drop these online. I messed up the timing again. But anyway, against Sub-Zero, that's like 43% one bar into strike throw mix. That's what you get off of Sub-Zero. And you also get it off of your standing 1-2. This, basically all of his punishes. The only reason I wouldn't call Shujinko Sub-Zero's best team is because this is it. If that were a thing, I would actually say this is Sub-Zero's best team. Yes, better than Chameleon, better than Sonya, better than Frost. The only thing holding this team back is the fact that this is not a thing. Because legitimately, this team does so much damage depending on the matchup that you legitimately only have to be right once and it's over. I've two-touched. There are so many two-touch situations with this character, and you get it off of his mid, or his standing 4, or his standing 1-2. Ugh. Why did I turn on Shujinko so quickly? The only other caveat, in addition to him not having this, which holds him back from being his best team, is the fact that he just requires way too much content to use. Sikander used this team for like a millisecond and a half. Oh, that sounds good. Jesus Christ, this input delay is killing me. Okay, I think I can turn on lag for practice mode. So what I'm going to do while I wait for AP Chem is quickly go to practice mode, turn on lag so I can get used to this input delay. Because you can do that. That's like a whole thing you can do. Yep. Let me see. Offline input delay on. There, I turned it on. And now I can practice laggy connection for like 2 seconds.
Sub-Zero.
And this will also allow me to just showcase how devastating this team is against an actual team. Okay, this is a popular character still for some reason. Although people will use this team now because you have to lean more into the strike throw. What you're about to see is a two-touch setup. That wasn't optimal. If I did standing 4 instead of standing 3, that's the whole game. They just lost. If they go for the grab, they're eating like 25% for a grab. So here's the setup again. Oh, he's ready. Why does it take forever for it to retrieve the social data? If you don't get your ass in gear, I swear I'm the only nigga where it takes this long. And usually I don't mind being patient, but but when I'm actually excited about something, this gets annoying. Hurry up! Hurry up! It's like they know, it's like the game knows I'm streaming because when I'm offline, it won't even take this long. Nah, it's gonna crash. I'm gonna just start over. You are not about to screw me over. No, 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 no. Hurry up. Hurry up! Ugh. What do we do? What is this doing? Watch me go to the kitchen, get a whole drink, come back, and it's still loading. There are no drinks in the house. I forgot to run to the store, but I still walked all the way to the kitchen, came back, and this shit is still loading. What are we doing? This is just uncharacteristically slow. Why? Speed up! Thank you! God! It took 3 retries, a Loch Ness monster, 2 shots of Hennessy, and a spritzer. There was literally a drink in my room the whole time.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent. Yeah, I saw that the online didn't want to cooperate, huh?
Nope, it always does this shit. And I know it's not my connection. It's just the game actively trying to mess with my sanity.
Say that again?
Oh, it's literally just the game actively trying to fuck with my sanity.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, so that setup that you showed is actually pretty ill, to be honest. I like it quite a bit. I came up with something similar to that, but I don't remember what it was. I did some shit. I flipped them over, and then I had what did I do?
Just tell me the end game, and I might be able to guess.
So the idea was sort of similar to yours, but I think what I did was I did some sort of side and then I had the opponent with the clone behind them, and then I could 50-50 them into it. But I like yours better because there's no room for error on both sides. There's no counterplay, guess immediately. Delaying your wake up actually makes it easier on me, because if they go straight up, you actually have not even a full frame to do it. If they delay the wake up, well, now you just made it easy, because now they can't armor, because delayed wake up negates armor. You can't activate it, so now they're just stuck there. And it's also unduckable on a glitch, so there's a chance I could go for the grab and they get frozen anyway. And if they try to armor reversal, so they delay their wake up, then armor as soon as possible, they're just gonna get frozen before the game animates what they did. It's very dumb. But it's incredibly ridiculous. And I still got frozen, which was awesome.
It may or may not be inconsistent. If it's not inconsistent, then it might actually get nerfed, so we're gonna lie and say that it is.
Exactly. Let me try it, actually. So, no, that wasn't it. That wasn't it.
You just do deadly vapors, then slide. Then you do deadly vapors, then 3-4, but the 3 has to whiff, and then they're right under the clone, and then a strike throw.
You do this so that the game doesn't screw you over with how long they're frozen, and you just dropped it. You just dropped it.
Yeah.
Yep. If you can figure out a way to do it without the deadly vapors, that's entirely fine. But I do that because my execution is like, I don't want to sound like an ass or conceited, but it's crisp. Like, I'll do something too quickly or too soon. That's why I do that. But sometimes, see, that don't work. The only thing that's ever worked for me is deadly vapors because it takes just enough time.
I see. Oh yeah, see that's bad.
Oh, another thing, if you hit the slide but they're a bit too high in the air, what could happen is that they actually get comboed into the third ice clone. Yes, it's that particular. Hell, sometimes, even if you do it right, it'll still happen occasionally. See, that screwed over, because now your standing 3's gonna land. The way I'm explaining all of the ways it could go wrong, you would think it's not consistent, but it technically is. You really just gotta master that timing. Let me close this door, unless I have a ghost.
Yeah, see. Wait, you go ahead and do it again real quick, because I want to see it.
I'm not even using. Well, you can do it with Jax, actually. You can do it with every team, so. I picked Jax for a reason, because I'm about to explain why this team is one of his top 5 teams, but it's also the hardest team you could possibly use with this character. Jesus Christ. It's not even hard. Why?
I stopped using Jax because he hears so much.
That was actually a flop. That actually did. Screw it, I'm just gonna pretend like I'm still using Sumo. See, sometimes I do it so well that I actually get the 3-4 completely before it's over. That's my problem. I'm too good at doing this shit. Like, I've overlapped.
I thought I wasn't going to get the reason, bro. I was on. Oh, and then I didn't do it yet. Okay, so what I do is I dash forward and backwards. So I do a back dash, forward dash, and then slide. Try that instead.
That works. That's probably not going to work on me because I'm autistic as hell and that's going to mess up my inputs. I'll try anyway. See?
It got to be a full dash, though.
A full dash? Oh, no.
Yeah, full back dash.
Oh, it worked.
There you go. Ooh, that was sexy as fuck. Ooh.
Oh, you think that's the reason I believe in this team? No, sir. Allow me to introduce you to this. Wow. Why?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So you were supposed to low block. So if you low block the unblockable, this happens. Whoops. I spawn in your face. Oh, for the love of God. I spawn in your face. Hold the Nyx. You are dying. If you armor, the back three's gonna armor break you.
Yeah.
There's legit nothing you can do. You can, and also that ground pound into Ice Clone will armor break, and then you'll get frozen, and then Jax will stay there and you get another setup. So if you were just... And he's still there. And he's about to get another setup. This is a TOD team. This is a TOD. And the same thing will happen if they delay their wake up, because what will happen is they'll miss. So you don't have time, because you delayed your wake up, you can't armor, so the clone is still in your face, but now Jax is also there. So back 3 or grab, and then you're frozen. And then it's the same thing again. If you armor, you die, and now Jax gets to do the shit all over again. If you delay wake up, you could still die, and then Jax gets to do the shit all over again. If you take it, well, Jax goes away, but you still have the ice clone in your face. And this team also does damage, and it can loop into itself. So legitimately, what I was doing earlier, that's actually optional. You can literally just loop it off of this. Don't even need to use ice clone ever. Even if they don't block low for some reason, it's just forever. You can jump out of it, but I don't know what the implications are. For one, if you time it perfectly, the ice clone should just hit them. For some reason, I was putting it too further away. But let's say they don't. They're just gonna get standing too. I don't know. If they jump over, they're definitely getting hit by the ice clone. So at that point, I'm not even worried. If they just jump straight up, and do a kick, they're also gonna get hit by the ice clone. If they jump straight up and do nothing, I think I can punish them with this. I don't know, it's a little inconsistent. I can definitely do something about that. Yeah, they attack at all, they're just gone. The only thing that's annoying is that there's a very specific thing you need to do when it comes to Jax. And to be fair, you can react to the option the opponent chose and then lock in parts 3 and 4, but there's just a lot to study, which is why this team is so hard. But theoretically, this is Sub-Zero's most complete... This team has... I'm messing up my words. This team has Sub-Zero's most complete corner game, in my opinion. Like, it literally just goes over every single option. It flowcharts everything. The only thing is, you now need to flowchart exactly what to do after they have to deal with this ice. If they armor, that makes it easy for you because they're already frozen. If they delay their wake up, okay, it's the classic they delayed their wake up, so this makes this real. If they jump straight up and do nothing, which is the only way they don't get frozen immediately, you now need to make sure your standing 2 hits them before they try to armor slide on reversal, which will armor break them, freeze them, and then you need to get your back 2 out just in time and jumping 2-1 literally last second before the explosion hits them. Legitimately, you have a frame and a half. I've already labbed every single thing that could happen. I'm bad at executing it in front of your face because I'm not a good Sub-Zero player. This team completes Sub-Zero's corner game to a ridiculous degree. The only caveat, other than the fact that it's hard to use, is that his full screen, his center field game was always like, I would even say trash. Thanks to this buff, he actually has you can still function with Jax, because what you'll basically get is a pseudo Sonya in terms of being able to get the setup for more damage. And this is now +7 on block, which is always nice. He can also just use this mid-screen, although I probably wouldn't do that. So this is definitely a team.
It's good. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Actually, let me see if I can turn you up. Nope, I can't. But I can hear you fine already. Really, I'm more worried if the chat can hear you really well.
Yeah, because I was trying to interject and it didn't sound like you could hear me. But the only issue that I have with the Sub-Jax team is how meter intensive it is, because the problem that I've run into with that team prior was if you're using your regular hit confirms, you're gonna have to spend meter just to do that. You know what I'm saying? But now with the new slide, you know, you can sort of call Jax out and still get your slide combos. Of course, that doesn't push the opponent to the corner, which is where this team really wants the opponent to be. You know what I'm saying?
I actually think I found an Excavus, which is just basically new options.
Right, that's what I was saying. That's what you would have to do.
Let me see. Looks like he's last one. Ugh. It's like a weird one from Link. So the idea is just jumping 1-2 right then and there, then a forward 2-1 into the Ice Clone, then another jump 3 into the slide, and that should work. Another thing, something that might be slightly easier. Wait, no, I need to backdash.
There's no margin for error.
No.
Like, you have to be framed with all your stuff. So, yeah, like any little one of these combo drops or any mistakes like that is going to get
You die.
Actual match. And so that's the other problem with using Jax. However, I'm sure there's going to be some player out there that's going to, take all of this and decide that they're going to make sub Jax work, and they'll get the execution down, and that person will be able to, you know what I'm saying?
Well, this is where things get unfortunate for me when it comes to the competitive scene. I am probably what's called a community anarchist, which means in the context of the game, I believe that a lot of the issues that Mortal Kombat 1, or a lot of the criticism that Mortal Kombat 1 is being faced, especially within the FGC, is a direct result of the active player base, which means the player base is often only showcasing what they think is existing and then saying that nothing else exists. Only for me to do the same thing or lab the same character, be like, what are you talking about? It's right here. And then, so for example, this is a team that gives Sub-Zero his most complete corner game, but a lot of competitive players will not play it anyway just because it's quote unquote too hard. Now, do I think they're incorrect? No, but too hard, especially if you're a competitive player who's trying to win and be the best, for lack of a more respectable choice of words, it's bitch made. I don't know. Like, if I'm going to say, hey, I'm a competitive player, I want to be the best, but it's like, oh, I can't use this team, it's too hard. It throws me off. But
I understand, but I think what it is for them, I think it's a balance of, effort versus results. Like, if they got to put in double the effort to still possibly lose to Scorpion Pharaoh or Natara Pharaoh or Homelander or something like that, they'll rather just pick up the character that's easier to play.
I agree, but that also just honestly comes down to, what's one I'm looking for? I want to say ego, but that might not be the exact word. Because my thing is this, a player is going to play whoever they're going to play, but the hypothetical competitive player, you, is going to be like, okay, but I like Sub-Zero. This is the character I want to make a name for myself using. So honestly, I would say give a fuck about who the other competitive players are using, but that's honestly just me, and maybe there's just an aspect that I'm not understanding. Now, this isn't to say that I haven't ventured into the competitive scene. I actually have a very long history with the competitive scene. I even had an esports team. Emphasis on had. So I know more than a thing or two about what it takes to succeed at the highest level. And one thing that I need a lot of people to understand, especially the competitive scene, any character can win. Even Sub-Zero.
In this game, hell yeah. And that was not always the case. Because in MK9, your ass wasn't winning shit with no
9-1s. Does anybody realize how bad a 9-1 actually is? It basically meant you couldn't even move. And you would it meant that a day 1 9 character would be able to beat the world's best 1 character at least 50% of the time, despite the skill gap. That's what a 9-1 means. But people are going to complain about Sub-Zero having slow mids and this and that, and he has to work hard for everything he has. But it's like, okay, that's true, but he still has it. And if you're a casual player complaining about that, fine, you're a casual player. You're just playing the game anyway. But if you're a pro player or a quote-unquote pro player and you're trying to reach a level of status, that just comes off as excuses to me. Because when you call yourself a pro player, that means I'm doing this professionally. This is a job. And when you're doing this as a job, there's no excuses for that. So, and maybe it just comes down to that. Maybe there are some people that are misusing the label of pro. Maybe they're just competing in tournaments for fun. And in that case, don't call yourself a pro player. But I don't think that's the case for the few Sub-Zeros that do exist. Hell, I don't even think most of the pro players Sub-Zeros are exactly like this. There's only one pro Sub-Zero that I think is like that, but we don't talk about him. I don't think Can't Stop the Train is like that because, first of all, Can't Stop the Train's execution is frankly better than Mindless Sub-Zero. Have you seen? I don't know if you noticed this. He can consistently get the sub chameleon glitch with Jade Glaive. That's not easy to do. Honestly,
Right.
it's to the point where it annoys me that he won't try out other teams out of mere preference. And I can respect it if it's just a preference. He finds Chameleon more, stimulating. But it's like, wow, if you can really do that glitch easy enough to where Sub-Zero actually has great damage, not good, great damage, why not use this hard-ass team that I just switched to, Sub-Goro? So you may have already seen this on stream. There are two reasons you pick Sub-Goro. The easiest Ice Clone setups you're ever going to have, and this. And I dropped it. This is going to be a long day. You know what? Hold on. Let me just get to the point. So this team is really good with two great things. This might be Sub's most viable high damage team. Maybe second only to Jinko. So this is his new optimal. Why? I literally got this online already. Why am I dropping it in practice mode?
Yo, that shit is tough. What the fuck?
The idea is you do jump into one into the enhanced shit, and then standing two into the slide at the very end for 53% 2 bars. And this will close out games.
And that's on any hit.
Yep.
God damn.
There it is. Fuck!
Yeah.
You can also, if you're crazy enough to do this, you can also get it off of this. And I think it does slightly more damage. You'll get like 55. Let me see. No, actually, I'll make this easier on myself. Why? No, I think I could do something like this. Why? I don't know. The optimals keep changing because I'll think I have something, and then like a day later I'll find something great. So this is his optimal catch, and it's easy. This is about to do more damage than you can guess. This is well over 60%. And I've landed this already. You'll see this in an online combo video. This is death. This team has always had great synergy. The issue is the recharge rate. But honestly, they actually shadow buffed the recharge rate. It was not this good. Before, it would have taken 35 seconds for Goro to be at that level. But it's about to be that. So literally, let's say you could do this in the first round and Goro will be hot and ready 10 seconds into the next one.
Right.
Now, I think the recharge rate on this is still bad, but why even use this? Because the damage killing off of this is worse than this one anyway. There's no point in using it.
Yeah.
And then another great thing about this team that's really only useful in a niche sense is this. So this is a new setup I discovered. So this is what I did to... Okay, actually, this isn't the premiere setup. This isn't what you would use right off the gate. You would actually do this. Because if they armor, they're just dead. If they armor, they're already gone.
Right,
now,
so you did the MK train thing into Goro.
Yep, and that is guaranteed. They can't do anything. So let's say they respect it and block. I can just set it up like this. Whoops.
Now, of course, they delay wake up. They avoid the Goro, but the clone is still there.
Kind of, but here's the thing: because of the plus frames, if they delay the wake up, this is real. You're at plus 13. You can move 13 frames before they do on delay wake up because that adds an extra 30 frames. So if this is plus 35, you delay your wake up, that adds an extra 30 frames. That's 60. That's 60 frames. This is only negative 43 recovery. They're just eating this. If they delay their wake up, Goro, it doesn't matter if Goro was there, if Goro landed or not.
Now, what happens if they just block?
Oh, they block the whole thing? Ice Clone isn't gonna get eaten. Ice Clone just doesn't go anywhere. They can try ducking it, but if that happens and they press a button, they're just gonna get frozen by Clone anyway.
Nice.
Now, there is one thing you can do that Can't Stop the Train showed me. It's really hard to do. I want to see if you could even pull it off. If you try to low block, if you want to, so the key is to low block last minute. So flawless block low. What it could do is break the clone at the same time as you blocking Goro. That's the idea. But sometimes it doesn't work at all because then you can space it properly. And sometimes you can fuck it up and still get frozen. Like, but that's something that Can't Stop the Train did, which breaks it, which is why I invented this. It only works against people who know the counterplay that Can't Stop the Train knows, because it'll destroy it. That's already a safe jump into an armor breaking. So you don't want to do this if the opponent isn't smart enough to do that, because what will happen is that Goro will ruin the combo for you.
Right.
So this is honestly Sub-Zero's strongest corner game, technically. It's not his most complete, but it's his most oppressive. This is the setup that I would say is the most impossible to escape from realistically. The issue is that you're using Goro, so you're only going to get 2 of these, and then he's gone for the rest of the round. So with Sub-Goro, you need to be right every single time. If you're wrong, look at all the time you just wasted. But because default Sub-Zero has just become a slightly stronger character thanks to this mid-screen, that's okay. I would actually recommend this team now because default Sub-Zero is just the slightest bit stronger, so that it's worth it to play around Goro's very long delay, especially when you can get crazy damage like this. I think I'm gonna get it this time. Feeling. You can honestly just skip the standing 2 and just do it raw, and it'll do 52% anyway, but I like being crazy optimal because why not? So that's a really great team. Ooh, this is a team that not enough people are talking about. Do I think this is Sub-Zero's best team? No. Do I think this Sub-Zero team is a lot better than people realize? 100% yes. This is your premier strike throw team. This is real. My execution, my speed is horrible, but hypothetically, that is armor breaking. And you don't even need to spin the bar on the clone, actually. That was optional. You still have enough time to beat both delayed wake up with a normal clone. But you need to do it perfectly. You need to make it to where they don't get hit by the clone on the way down, but you're still close enough to where this lands, and then dash in. That is legitimately the only hard thing about this team, but the thing is, you don't even need to do this. Because here's what you're really going to do in the corner with this team. I messed it up, but that's going to be 55% into this. And that's a setup. So actually, let me And guess what? Janet's back. And remember, to even start this up, you need to land this.
Right.
So that's a game. So that's 15% just to start the setup. Then you could potentially lose 55%. Then it's another strike though. This is a potential TOD setup. Like, it's death.
Right.
This is Sub-Zero's strongest corner game, but it's not Sub-Zero's archetype, which is why I say Jax is Sub-Zero's most complete corner archetype, but this is probably his second strongest or his strongest. It really depends on how prone they are, because they're frozen. This is basically Vortex. They're not armoring out of this because they can't. Strike, throw. No. And we try to. And you have to guess again. And she's still there. Obviously, it needs more fine-tuning. I actually showcased this in more detail in my combo guide that I made a while back. I'm probably going to have to update it. But that's literally what this team is. So you can literally recharge Jaden multiple times, or you can just blow it all and then go into this. Either way, you're setting up your opponent to die. So let's say you hit them with the grab after Gento. This is when I would recommend that you're constantly recharging Janet, so you can use Janet a few more times before you inevitably end your last combo with this, so that way it adds up. Because let's say they just keep turtling up and blocking. Well, you can grab loop them 3 times, which will all do about 25% each. So that's 75% into this, on top of the 14% that you had to use to start this setup in the first place, which leaves them at 15% health left, and then they have one more strike throw mix at the very end. You can kill the opponent with any outcome if you land this hit confirm. Dive kick, micro duck into standing 1, mid check, this even works.
Actually, back 3 is not going to work, but the only problem with even the Janet team is you got to get them to the corner first.
Oh, you'd be surprised how easy that is. Because the first round, you're not using this anyway.
Okay.
They're here.
Nice. Okay.
That was only 1 bar, by the way. And remember, in the first round, you're not using Puppet anyway. And look at how fast Janet comes back. Janet has the fastest recharge rate in the entire game. So you get them to the corner in the first round, kill them without using any more Janet, and then boom, next round, they're guessing for their life. You land that hit confirm, they just lost the game. Oh, you got blocked? No. You're gonna block again? This is just such a fun team. It takes a lot of high execution, though, because like Jax, you're studying a lot of options. For example, this team can break armor, but the way you have to break it is kind of on a hard read. So you need to do it in a very, very safe way. So what you want to do is one of Sub-Zero's longer strings, either this one or this one. Really this one, because that way it'll combo on hit, and you're going to do it in conjunction with Janet's dash punches. And the reason you want to do this, because if they block it or you're wrong and they were armoring, you can still confirm that into another jail Janet mix, meaning they can't armor out of that part too, and you can kind of just block loop them. So like something like this. But if you are blocking the entire time. So it would literally be the... Yeah, that. And if you time it right, you could even confirm that on hits. So you could do it either way. So there's just so many layers to it. But obviously there's no room for error. If you fuck up even once, the opponent is going to hit Janet, and then, well, there goes your whole corner game.
Right. That's exactly the problem that I'm having with, the Jax team or the Janet team is the moment there's... I mean, for one of the issues is Sub-Zero needs his cameo for mid-screen stuff as well. Like, it's not just the combos. They have to be able to help him, in the neutral stuff like this and whatnot.
The only good thing that Janet offers mid-screen is this is a reversal, just like Serena's Invincible Wake Up is also a reversal. So it can help Sub-Zero in situations where they have gaps. You can use it to get out of fake Kenshi stuff. You can use it to get out of random nonsense. Outside of that, there's also the wall, which is... Why am I missing? It's fine, I guess. Well, not even fine. It's great. But it's like... And the recharge rate is still great, so you can use it if you really need to. Like, I would use it against Kitana. Who else zones Sub-Zero out? Weirdly enough, most of the characters where wall would be useful, these are characters that Sub-Zero doesn't really get zoned out by anyway, with the exception of Kitana. Like, who else has projectiles? This helps get Shang, but I don't know. In my experience, Shang has never really outzoned me, because I can just Deadly Vapors, block, slide, or challenge punch.
Not to be worried about, to be honest.
Yeah, the wall doesn't, in my opinion, the wall just doesn't help Sub-Zero out in full screen matches that he isn't already winning in the first place. Like, the full screen matches that he's losing, that's Quan Chi, who can literally just summon something that's going to ignore Janet completely. Or who else can summon shit that can just ignore Janet completely? Rain can summon shit that ignores Janet completely, blah, 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 blah. So those are the people that Sub-Zero kind of struggles against full screen, where it's like Janet Wall can't really help that. So what you're really doing with Janet is this a hard read. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
It's funny how this slide buff basically gave him the ability to do that with every cameo, but Janet was already able to do that.
Right. Yeah, she always gave. Yeah, she was giving us that from the jump, but not really like, you know, now this slide, it helps out with multiple cameos. He can combo for most cameos in the game with this slide.
Almost definitely. It definitely made Sonya. Now, honestly, it's a really strong debate now if Sonya versus Chameleon is his best team. Because before, it was kind of reaching, I'll be brutally honest, but now it's actually a debate. Because here's the problem with Chameleon. Oh, wait, I'm changing yours. Here's the problem with Chameleon now that I've noticed, and this is something I like to call a power creep. The thing with Chameleon, in my experience, is that Chameleon hasn't gotten weaker for Sub-Zero. It's just that other teams has had their synergies buffed. In particular, Serena, Shujinko, Sonya, actually a lot of teams, now that I think about it. A lot of team synergies of Sub-Zero have been buffed, while some Chameleons has actually been nerfed on a few occasions, while most are staying the same. For example, Chameleon used to have this. That used to be real. It's not real anymore, and I don't think enough people are accepting that this is a big deal for, you know, Sub-Zero. Because in the past, people were like, well, this is a big deal, but Sub-Zero doesn't have any other good Chameleon team, so this is still his best team. But now that there are other teams that actually have good synergy with his slide, like Sonya, for example, now we have to call into question how big of a deal was this nerf. Because it was, in fact, a big deal. Because that's not real anymore. Yeah. You're going to get down two in the face. You're going to get standing one in the face. It's just, you're dying for it every time.
Yeah.
Like a brain dead person would punish you for doing this. It's just not okay. The only great thing about this team now, in my opinion, is, where is it? Is this.
Yeah.
Because it gives Sub-Zero the best full screen presence she's ever going to have. Serena gives him a close second, and Sonya's is a very distant third. Those are the only three cameos that give him any real full-screen presence, but Chameleon still gives him the best.
Right. Chameleon gives him a block for his ice ball that he needed. 26 frame ice ball.
So that's good. But the problem with Chameleon is that you're not in control of the momentum. You can't just use Jade forever. If you could use Jade forever, this would be Sub-Zero's best team, because you could just keep mashing this.
Right.
But eventually, it's gonna switch to Katana, and now you're gonna have to do this on a hard read, or you're gonna have to draw a fan, which is pretty much useless.
Right. Well, the Chameleon disguise determines how you play in a particular moment. And so the cameo is dictating your playstyle rather than
you are dictating how the cameo is going to be played in that specific moment. And sometimes it'll screw you over in the heat of the moment, like in the middle of a combo. Like you're really about to land this slide conversion and you're on Katana, but guess what? The moment that slide lands is on Melina, and you couldn't reaction confirm because you're not reacting to that. Nobody is. It doesn't happen often enough to where people are just dropping the team, but that's just luck. That's genuinely just luck. If it happens enough, Can't Stop the Train will consider playing a different team. It just hasn't happened often enough. Because Sub-Zero players are reserved, so they instinctively avoid situations like that in the first place. But if Sub-Zero was just even the slightest bit more aggressive, these Chameleon malfunctions would happen a lot more often, and people would start to seriously reconsider how strong Chameleon really is for Sub-Zero. Because while it has great synergy with Sub-Zero, I still want to say, a lot of what it offers, there are other cameos that offer either slightly better or significantly better. The thing is, though, Chameleon offers a package, whereas other cameos may offer only two of the three things that Chameleon offers, even if they offer those two of the three things better. So that's why people are constantly going back and forth, and they ultimately just say Chameleon is Sub-Zero's best team as like a safe bet. Even though I cannot confidently say that's true. And here's another
Here's the
thing.
thing.
Chameleon has always not matched Sub-Zero in terms of his true archetype, because his archetype has always been clone stuff. Chameleon has never helped with that. And that was okay because Sub-Zero didn't have Foundation, and Foundation is more important than your character expression. But now that his clone has been buffed, we really had to have a conversation. Okay, say what you were going to say.
Right.
Let me make sure I listen.
Well, the thing is, the reason why people use Chameleon with sub the most is because he helps him the most mid-screen. And that's where the bulk of, where he's lacking. Because in the corner, as we've seen, Sub-Zero has varied corner games depending on the cameo being used, whether that's Sonya or Goro or Jax or what have you. He's good in the corner, but the problem is getting your opponent to the corner and stopping them from projectiling you to death and, using their superior frame data on you and all that kind of stuff. So that's where Chameleon and Serena and even Sonya help out a lot. And, cameos like Goro, Jax, and some of the ones that might be more niche and, they might be better in the corner overall than some of the other ones, but because they don't offer a whole lot mid-screen defensively, that's part of the issue with them. That's why you don't see a whole bunch of subs using these teams, because at the end of the day, you got to hit your opponent to get them to the corner, and yeah, you might be able to hit them with this back three, maybe, but more reliably, you'll have to. You're more likely to hit this or this. You know what I'm saying? You got to control space in order to even establish any of that stuff, because virtually everybody has better frame data than you do, so you can't rely on getting that hit the way that you could if you were Liu Kang or somebody else, You there?
Oh yeah, I'm there. I'm just absorbing the information,
Okay.
taking everything into consideration, creating imagery in my head as you create points. College kid listening to a professor stuff. All right, so yeah, so this is what I mean by foundation. By the way, when you were talking about full screen stuff, that's what I mean by foundation. If that wasn't clear, so yeah.
I got you.
So yeah, that's definitely why Chameleon still is a top 3 cameo minimum for Sub-Zero, because Foundation is just that important for Sub. If this were either A mid, or B, faster, I think it would be a lot easier for people to potentially see the light that Chameleon may not be his best assist overall. At the very least, it's not the assist that you want him to be using all the time. But because most of his full screen stuff is just bad, in the grand scheme of things, that's why it's like, well, I have this so they can't jump or duck, because that's what they're doing against this. They're ducking this, they're jumping over this, this doesn't have enough range, this will kill you, this doesn't do any damage. And while this is great, not good, great, now you have to wait 6 seconds to use it again, and if you were wrong about them trying to jump in on it, you're doing something stupid, well, you just wasted it for no reason. I gotta wait.
Exactly. And that's where the cameos come into play. Like, the cameos fill in Sub-Zero's deficiencies in a way that, the same cameos don't do for other characters. Because, like, if you put Serena on Liu Kang, Serena doesn't give anything to Liu Kang. Liu Kang already has a full screen presence. He already has hit confirms. He already has high damage. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't offer him anything, really. Whereas with Sub-Zero, Serena gives him, the hit confirmed from his best buttons. She gives him high damage, or relatively high meterless damage, that is. And then, of course, it's really the full screen presence that he was lacking. So he leans heavily on his cameos for that reason. So he doesn't really have the luxury of saying, ooh, look at this cool thing I can do with this niche cameo. That cameo better be giving him some shit before they can get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and that's true. And this is why Serena is also in that conversation for could this potentially be Sub's best cameo? Because Serena was the team that Sub-Zero was always using anyway. And I feel like now that Clone is stronger, his mid-screen game is stronger. Like, you don't even need to take them to the corner when you're using Serena. That's totally optional. Serena really could be Sub's best team. I just feel like it's kind of sad if that's the case because Serena is definitely one of his less saucy assists. Not that it doesn't have sauce, but it's like, damn, there are so many other assists I could be using. Now, this is another assist I really want to talk about that I do think helps him out mid-screen just enough, but what's really strong about this team is its ridiculous loop ability. This is Sub Frost, which I believe is actually Sub's most compatible cameo. I'm not sure if it's his best or not, but it's definitely his most compatible in every sense of the word. First of all, in lore, because they're master and student. And then their synergy, because here's what Frost offers. Better Ice King. That's what this team offers. Another thing this team offers, it gives you proof that he was actually buffed beyond just the Ice King. Because this was not a thing before. That wasn't a thing.
I remember.
So what this does is that you now have a team that actually has a loopable touch of death situation. You get your hit confirmed, don't even need spin meter if you don't want to. Get this set up, strike through. That grab actually works. I don't know why I was messing up. So that's what that team is. You can literally just keep looping it over and over and over and over and over again. So that's what this team is. There's genuinely no stopping it. The recharge rate of Frost is actually a lot better than people realize. You can genuinely just keep doing this. And I know what people are thinking, well, you can get out of this, right? And not really. You'd be surprised how inconvenient this thing actually is. Getting out of this is easier said than done. What if I just try to jump to escape? That's gonna happen. What if I armor? Two things will happen if you armor. Either this is going to happen and you're going to get armor broken, or I'm going to grab, you're going to hit me, and guess what? Frost is going to hit you, and you're still going to be frozen, and I'm going to wake up back too, and I'm just going to keep going as business as usual. What if I delay my wake up? I don't even need to guess delay wake up, because I'm walking. I'm literally walking toward you and reacting to what you're doing. So delay wake up's going to do absolutely jack shit, and you're going to get grabbed, and then it's just going to keep going. And as time goes on, Frost is just consistently recharging over and over and over again. That by the time she doesn't come back, the opponent is dead. You just won. You want to duck it on a hard read? Well, if I grab last minute, I can actually blow you up for that and force you to get frozen. There's always a way to get frozen. It's just annoyingly... This is Sub-Zero's most annoying team, I want to say. Definitely one of his strongest. Top 5, maybe? I don't know. Because it's weird. Like, this is the team that I feel like is... This might be Sub-Zero's most... Is it crazy that I might think this might be Sub's most oppressive team in general? Because this is just so strong, and he can basically guarantee that after one of these clone freezes. Because this thing is was always annoying, but it's so slow that most people can't use it, but Sub-Zero can. It really just force you to deal with this over and over and over again, and the recharge rate is ridiculous. It's just a lot. This is honestly the team I have used most online, especially against like scrubbier players who don't even really know what to do. But even against higher level players, I found that this is really effective.
Yeah. Now, the only problem with this team is the meter. Because, you know, what I was doing... Wait, what was I doing? Oh, so this is what I was doing with something like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's what I was trying to do. And... Again, that's good. It is good because notice none of that. I didn't spend any meter and whatnot. But what you were doing, you were spending the bar every time. And the bar is better because
The ice one freezes them longer, and now you can do raw back 3.
Right. Yeah, because what happens is if you freeze them first,
They fall faster.
it doesn't last long. So that sucks. You know
It
what I'm
lasts
saying?
long enough to where Frost will come out either way, but now you can't actually armor break them. Not a lot of people realize this, but you can't armor break them
Yeah.
now. Now, here's the reason why that's not a big
Right.
deal. Because if they armor, unless they have a full screen armor that's going to push them like to the tip of Kingdom Come after it lands, they're going to get frozen by Frost anyway. They'll land, they'll hit me, and then they'll get frozen anyway. It's the funniest thing ever.
Right.
Oh, I don't use the overhead. No, they'll just react to it.
Yeah, they would. They definitely will. Yeah, you definitely want to strike throw, but
Like, the reason I was spending Meteor off of the grab, because that's the only way I could keep looping it. But obviously, I'll just go for the back three. Yeah, you get the. Yeah, that'll work. If that worked, then this would be his best team, because now I really don't need to spend Meteor at all. I would say Frost is Sub-Zero's best team if he didn't need to spend Meteor in that situation. That's the only thing that holds him back. Because in the corner, you don't need to spend Meteor anyway. And and another thing about the corner, you starting off with this is less of a big deal because they have nowhere to run. Like, I hit the back three as early as possible and it's still working. I fucked it up, but like they're not going anywhere. Like, I can grab and they can duck, and if they try to punish me, they get hit. If they armor and they don't have an armor that pushes them all the way away, they get hit. If you were to armor using Sub-Zero Slide and you hold it, you're getting frozen. So you definitely want to use this against the mirror. Another character that can get out of it sometimes is Scorpion. Quan Chi can get out of it if you don't armor break him. Other than those three characters, I think every other character is getting fucked, whether the armor hits you or not.
Right.
So the best thing for you is to just be right. Oh, and another thing, you can like stagger. I want to say, for lack of a better word. The timing is a little crazy, but basically I can just back three first, whether they delay wake up or not, and then grab right after, and that all works. And they can't do anything because if they duck it, they're just gonna get frozen anyway because it's a just frame. It's like the mid-screen default shit that I told you that's what your ass. But the timing is fucked. But that's just another thing I can do. I can get it easier online for some reason. So it's literally just you throw this out and watch them cry and beg for mercy as you continuously do it to them again and again and again. This is a team that I would definitely recommend competitively. You want to use this once. You want to use this once because once people start guessing right, this team is starting to lose its luster because you're never really going to get punished for doing this, even if they guess right. But once they start seeing through it, or you're just not kidding them anymore, it begins to lose itself because this team doesn't have damage. It's one of those teams where it's like, yeah, this is Sub-Zero without damage. That's where that becomes viable because it has damage if you land this. Let me see how much damage this does. That was actually supposed to do 45%, but that's like the most you could do here. And that's great, but it's like, and it's viable, but it's like, that's the best you can do. And most of the time you're going to hit the grab because most people are going to turtle up anyway. So you're really just looping 22% over and over again, which is fine because you can loop it, Frost will keep coming back, but it's like, you're not having damage. So this team lives and dies by you being correct, because every single time you're wrong, things get nasty. Frost comes back. Oh, right there, you could have ice cloned again.
Yeah, I could have. I could have ice cloned again.
And then if you hit them with the grab again, guess what? Frost is going to come back just in time for a fourth one. And if you grab a third time, that's four grab resets for 80%.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I mean that's real. That's all the way real. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, because Sub's been buffed in the ways that he's been buffed, you know, he has more options available to him in terms of, you know, what cameos people want to play him with and whatnot. But the problem is, unless he's using Chameleon or Serena or perhaps even Sonya, any other cameo that he picks, he's going to give something up. He's going to give up screen control. So then he becomes more rush down oriented, which that's not really his thing in this game.
So let me see what does Frost do full screen. So the only thing Frost gives Sub-Zero is, I believe, this, which is great. It's no, let me take it back. It's not great. It's good. It's literally just this if it were good. That's what this move is. It's this if it were good. It's the clone push if it were good. So it serves that purpose. And you can dash up, you can get a back 3, back 2, and you can get your setup. So that helps this team a lot. That alone is why this is at least a top 3 team in my opinion, because it doesn't give him nothing. He's not giving up space control entirely. It's just that you know for a fact it's less space control than, say, Serena or Chameleon. It's debatable if it's less space control or screen control than Sonya, but it's definitely less screen control than Serena or Chameleon. But that might be worth it for the loop ability that Serena and Chameleon simply doesn't have. Because when you hit Chameleon and Serena once, there's literally a chance, because with Serena, even with the default setup I found, you're only going to get that once because you can't freeze them twice. They're not going to make sub that crazy. I wish they would, but they won't. They're not going to make it that crazy to where you can clone twice in the same combo, because where does it end at that point? So obviously that's where Frost comes in. It's like, okay, my space control is so OD, I don't need, Chameleon Jade to carry me, so let me use Frost and just loop them to death when I land a hit. It really just comes down to how do you analyze your opponent, and this is what I think a lot of players need to realize, especially competitively, about assist fighting games. You're never meant to use one team in the first place. When in your first match, you want to use a starter pack team. In my opinion, the Sub-Zero has, I want to say 3 starter pack teams. There is Sub Serena, Sub Sonya, and Sub Shujinko. I do not think Chameleon is a starter pack team. They just think a lot of people just say that's the only team you can even use, but we already went into that conversation. So this is a team that's just really well rounded and offers Sonya a lot of things. Mid projectile, mix, technically fake, but it's plus on block, so who cares? Like I have yet to be fucked for doing this, so I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm messing up the combo. So yeah, this is a starter pack team. If this is working, then you're just gonna keep using it. If it's not working, then you need to analyze why it's not working. Is your screen control not good enough? Or are you not as oppressive enough full screen? Or maybe you're just not dealing enough damage. These are the 3 main things that Sub-Zero struggles with in general as a base character. So you need to figure out in that first match, especially if you lose, which of those things do you need to tune into more. If you think you're playing everything right, you're just not dealing enough damage, and the opponent is playing something too oppressive, that's where you're going to pick something like Shujinko, where you can just 2-touch them, especially if they're playing somebody ridiculous. If the problem is ring toss just isn't enough because it's too slow or something, you're going to pick Serena or Chameleon. Actually, no, Serena's also a starter pack. So you're going to pick Chameleon for even stronger space control. If the problem is that you're just not as oppressive, you're going to pick Frost or Jax or all of the other niche teams that I just talked about.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it. I like the idea of, having certain teams that you use in case of emergencies. And then you have other teams where you just start the game with them because, hey, I don't even... You might not even beat my lieutenant team. You ain't gonna make it to my captain. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Think of it like Marvel Rivals or Overwatch. Exactly like that.
Yeah, exactly. So, I like the idea of having Serena as that starter pack team where...
Yeah, in fact, she's the best starter because she's also debatably her best team to begin with. His best team to begin with.
Right.
Sonya's probably, if I had to be honest with myself, she's either his best team or his third best team. It's one or the other. Either the mix he has and the corner game this team has is so good that it's his best, or this being slow is just not good enough to space control to where it's his third best. It's really just perspective at this point.
Right. Yeah, it really is. Sonya offers sub a lot in terms of you know, making his slide a very dangerous tool. Yeah,
So
exactly.
this is actually a lot harder than people think it is. You have to slide as soon as possible, otherwise you're not getting that combo. And something. No, wait, that's not it. What is it? Hold on. I just invented this combo. Like, I don't think anybody knows about this yet. So you can do. So yeah, lose 50% from full screen. That's what this thing becomes. And the reason it's so good is because it plays into you doing the slide as quickly as possible. Because I'm just not kidding, you do the slide as quickly as possible, or it doesn't work. If you fuck it up a little bit, it can still work out for you. Oh, and you can also get the. That's going to lead to like 37%, I think. So combined, you could take 70% from the map, like from full screen. Let's see if I can get the whole thing. Fuck! Mixed it up. Just keep pushing. Something like that. That's a little scuffed, but.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so that team I recommend. That's not a niche team. Because Sonya really helps him out, you know, anywhere on screen. And then she can
I just wish this were more useful to him. Because this is honestly just there. It's a better dive kick technically. Only thing bad is that for full screen, you just throw this out. Yeah, it's safe, but you're not getting anything off of it other than maybe like a raw slide. But that's probably not. Wait, actually, let me see something. I was trying to see if I could do a raw slide into another Sonya after this. No. If that was a thing, then I would immediately change my answer, but no. So it's kind of just there. Like, honestly, as risky as this is, it's better to just use this anyway, because the reward is better. Because you really shouldn't be doing raw dive kick anyway, so if you're going to do it, you might as well make sure your reward is the best you can possibly get.
Agreed. Yeah.
Oh, you know another thing I don't think a lot of people have fully mastered about Sub-Zero? His footsie game. I don't think people give his footsie game enough credit. Because honestly, this is another reason why Serena is such a good team.
Hell yeah.
Because there's already a built-in mix-up. So this is Scrubby, right? Doing this on block, that they're mashing. Well, if you start doing this, instant dive kick, and they're gonna get hit. That's a built-in mix that they have to deal with. And this isn't even plus. This is like -1, I think. But it doesn't matter because the mix is this. And so if you're guessing, you could get hit by this. And you know another cool thing about this? So if you duck the first chakram and then you get hit by the second one, you do less damage scaling. So try to block, duck, and then immediately get hit by the next one. No, you got hit by the third. You didn't get hit at all. Well, the idea is that it does less damage. It's more practical online, because the mix is this. Because once they start seeing this, they're going to start up-blocking or something crazy on a hard read, and then this will fuck them up. And another reason this is good is because Sub-Zero's footsies in general are already strong. This is a great footsie tool if you master it, because the key is to do an instant air dive kick that hits their toes.
Yes. Yes. Do this.
Like this, neutral into, even this is okay. Even though it's not great because it's -4 into dive kick, at that point you really condition them, but this, that's real.
Yes, it is real. Absolutely real.
Like, I think I mentioned this in my combo guide from 2 months ago. When I make this new combo guide, I'm going to design it as a part 2 because I do not want people to forget about the old one because I'm very happy that it holds up so well. If anything, my old guide is even better because I was encouraging people to play Sub-Zero the way he was supposed to be played before his clone was buffed. So if anything, now you really want to play it that way. But, you know, back to the footsie thing. This is really good. This is okay, but obviously there are implications as to why you don't want to do this. But this, you can do this in almost every situation you would use Ice Clone other than offensively. Obviously, Poke and Ice Clone is better most of the time. But, I don't know. I don't know how good this gimmick is, but I've stolen rounds doing this, by the way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like when you don't do that shit all the time, and they, like, especially when they have, you know, a health deficit, and they start getting closer to the clone, that's when you want to use that shit. Because a lot of people will just, oh yeah, slide right into it immediately. Like, you can't go into that right out the gate, because they're going to block you and then you're going to die.
You have a split second to think about it. Are they going to move? They moved. Okay, that was, okay, maybe a little bit less than a split second. They moved. But obviously it's a gimmick. You really just shouldn't do it anyway. But, like, I've definitely done it a few times, and it's just worked out, and it's like, oh, this worked, okay.
Right, absolutely. Like, it's especially good with the EX clone.
Oh, with the EX! No, let's talk about it, really. Because, honestly, I don't think this is talked about enough.
I love that.
Oh, cool. I'm messing it up.
So much.
Messing it up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love that shit. I love that shit.
You could honestly just loop this if you condition them. Oh, you're gonna armor? I love this team. This is honestly just such a great team. Like, you can really just loop this with conditioning. It's ridiculous. Oh, they also buffed the damage scaling off of this, which means this does more damage. Before this combo did about 32%. That used to be 32%. That is a big buff because it means in life or death situations. Oh my god. Okay, I thought you would have left by now, so we're just gonna not do that part. So I believe this does... I don't remember. I've only hit this on somebody once because I don't use Enhanced Clone all that often. Even when I'm using Serena, because I just keep the mid-screen most of it. Why am I dropping? Oh! I'm dropping because I don't have 1% health. I was like, am I ass?
Yep.
So this does like 50-something, like a ridiculous amount. This is way easier than it looks. I'm just mad. You just have to delay just a little bit. There it is. I think this does like 50... Could this do 54%? It's something ridiculous. Yeah, against a certain team, so with Serena. Another thing I like about Serena, this setup, which was like was considered bad because the clone cooldown was increased. Because of because of this, I can still use that now.
You still use it, yep. That's universal.
And this is honestly the best thing you can do for him because it gives you the most recovery. It's actually plus. This is plus. You're plus 5. So not plus enough to armor break. You can do this. You can do this. This is an armor break. So let me see if I do it right. Ah, I fucked it up. It's a just frame, so it's like a safe. It's like an armor safe check. So you want to do this while you enhance it, so you have enough time to do both. But the idea is like, why? The standing 2 has to come out. You have to mash it really. No. You might be able to do it, but I can't.
That setup allows you to block their armor. It doesn't break.
Yeah, you don't even need to do it. I do it because I'm ass. But it's like a safe check, so you can just do it. And that's gonna armor break them on a hard read, and obviously. And if they just whiffs, well, that's okay. That's why you want to enhance it. If you think they're gonna armor, I would enhance it and then do that, because then you have time to still do this, and it should still work. Maybe it's a just frame. I might have waited too long.
Yeah.
See, my dashing is just on point. So, like, an actual sequence, it would be something like... Buffy's grab range! That should have worked! Okay, I want to see if you can do it, because maybe it's just me. Because my Sub-Zero is just straight up not polished.
Well, the thing is...
Like, people call me a good Sub-Zero player, and I feel like such a fraud.
Unless your armor breaking comes from this here. That's where your armor break happens at.
Oh yeah, you can just do that. But if I'm gonna go that route, I'm just gonna do standing 3 into that anyway. Because that's just more damage and I'm going the same route. Because then if they block... Honestly, with Serena, I could just keep using the enhanced clone every time. That's actually insane. That actually has a really insane implication.
Yeah, that's actually nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I completely forgotten that you could just, you know what I'm saying?
And gaining access to that is insane because this is one of the strongest, most damaging grab combos in the game, I want to say.
Yeah, that
not even optimal, and that was about to do 27% for 1 bar. To give you an idea, Liu Kang's signature grab combo with Kung Lao for 1 bar does 25%. Sub-Zero might have technically the most powerful grab combo in the game now, if we're not including Noob Saibot's Embrace Chaos, which is insane to think about. So if you're going for damage, this is the most amount of damage you can get, which is actually insane. If you up block, that's 40. No, not 40. That's 37%.
Shit. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, here's the key. The key is to get that situation off of something that Sub would naturally do. So obviously, for Sub, we be doing this right here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that'll definitely work, especially against me because I'm not a crazy person that's gonna armor on reversal like an idiot.
And then of course off of the 2-1, it also, well, you want to use it off of back 3 because back
so
3
you can get the full damage because sometimes the animation will happen, but the last impact doesn't come out, so the damage does less on impact. It's a whatever difference, but it's a difference that's noticeable enough. Plus, back 3 is better in general anyway.
Yeah, so you want to use back 3 because it's universal. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and then you need to take into consideration the normal meter drain thing. Because if they can't armor, then you can really just do this. Because that's really the only reason you wouldn't do it all the time.
Right.
That's an input error, actually, but it can work out for you.
That was dope. That was dope as fuck.
I actually wonder how viable that is on armor break reversal, because what would happen if you were to slide at it? I'm actually curious now. What, like, try to armor slide on reversal?
Alright.
Well, not like wake up. I mean like block it and then on reversal. Like that's like the way to punish it. So they died. No, they don't, because this game needs to fix that. It didn't even hit Sub-Zero yet. They should have gotten frozen before Sub-Zero, because Sub-Zero's all the way over here. He's all the way over here, but you're telling me not a single one of those got... See, it's about to get into Chapter 20 of Sub-Zero not functioning as intended.
Merry Christmas, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to everybody in the chat, too. Yeah.
Like, what else is there to say about Sub-Zero? Like, this is just honestly what I really wanted to talk to you about, because this is honestly just Well, I'm not sure if I call it the tip of the iceberg, but this is definitely a lot of the things that I feel like Sub-Zero players should be doing and considering. Like,
I agree.
like the biggest thing I want to do, especially when it comes to Sub-Zero players, after I really got committed to making guys, because I'm a combo artist first. I wouldn't even consider myself a good player, let alone a pro player. But you know, people when you have a platform, people come to you with advice about how to win. So it's like, okay, let me study this character that I'm bad at playing against. Because let me tell you something, I am not a good Sub-Zero player. Sub-Zero is a trap character, and trap characters are not my cup of tea, especially in this game, because trap characters suffer from what I like to call the reality warping issue. This game is so hyper-realistic that the clone can just randomly fuck itself. There should be no reason that some characters can break this clone and others can't. Nobody should be able to break it. That's so stupid. Half the time, it's not even women. Sometimes it's guys that can break it. Like, they're not even consistent about female hitboxes. I'm so annoyed.
Right.
Like, why is this real on like 10 people, but then take everything else?
Which characters can break it and which ones can't.
Oh yeah, I studied it, and I look at it and I'm like, why is this a thing? Why does the game need to be this particular on Sub-Zero in general? It's not this particular for any other character, and it's particular because he's a trap character. A trap character is, so maybe, I'm not sure if you're aware of like the full FGC definition. It's derivative of set play, which is a concept that was invented for more advanced anime-style fighting games, which is where assist fighting games come from. That's something that anime did.
Right.
So it's basically like set play, except instead of being proactive, where you're doing something irregardless of guessing what the opponent is doing, whereas trap characters are reactive. You throw something out, and then you walk up to them, and you're just waiting for them to do something, and then reacting. So that's why Enhanced Clone is so good, because it enables you to just walk up and just wait for them to fuck up. Whereas with set play, you're hypothetically throwing something out and then immediately going for strike throw. That's not really how Sub-Zero wants to play, even though he can kind of do that, because it puts him at a disadvantage. Because if he's trying to dash up to you after doing this, it just leaves him prone. It just leaves him prone to getting poked before the clone can save his ass. Whereas if you walk up, they can screw themselves, and then you don't even need to guess. That's how Sub-Zero is supposed to play in the corner, and I am bad at playing that way, and it's made even worse by the fact that this game doesn't cater to that at all. The only game that's catered to that is MK9, and let me tell you, that game has way too many problems. Sub-Zero is like a bottom 5 character in that game, and yet it's the best version of him. Like, I'm so confused.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call Sub bottom 5 in that game. Like, he was definitely a lower mid-tier. No, he's sort of the best of the mid-tier characters. Kind of.
Well, MK9 was a game where it was really about perspective, because wasn't every character except, I don't know, Shiva broken? Like, no, even Shiva was broken, and she was the worst character in the game. Every character was crap. To the point where the only reason, like, who was stronger or weaker even mattered is because the matchup charts were fucked.
Yeah, the matchup charts were really fucked up in that game, so if you didn't have the top 5 characters in that game, that game would be way more balanced.
And it sucks because here's the thing, Mortal Kombat 9 is actually the foundation of modern fighting games. Not just Mortal Kombat modern fighting games in general. So Street Fighter, all the Street Fighter games that came after MK9 came out, all the Tekken games that came after MK9 came out, they started copy and pasting all of the new concepts that MK9 introduced. With like proper frame data, a better input system, fatal blows, or at the time X-rays, ultimate attacks. That would be a meter system. These are things that started in MK9 and was just brought up with other fighting games to come. And matchup charts, if I'm not mistaken, also started in that game, because in the 3D era, the game was so party game that matchup charts were kind of a joke. I don't know. I don't even think there was a competitive scene for 3D era MK, because the game was designed like Tekken and Smash Bros were the same game.
Right. Exactly. I mean,
like if you played MK Deception, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, people played Mortal Kombat competitively, but it wasn't nowhere near the scene that we have today. Like,
which is sad, because Mortal Kombat already, even now, has one of the weaker competitive scenes. So how much worse was back then? It was really just a bunch of people hosting a garage party and throwing $500 in the air.
Right. Well, I mean, Mortal Kombat was never marketed that way. You know what I'm saying? Like
They
it
really need
was
people, especially
party.
competitive players, to understand that. Mortal Kombat will never be one of these crazy competitive fighting games. That's what Street Fighter's for. You want a crazy competitive fighting game? Play Street Fighter. This game, especially now, it's clear the direction that NRS wants to go. They want this game to be creative, expressive, and cinematic. Emphasis on cinematic, because this game, it is absolutely gorgeous. Like, take a minute and just admire how detailed this shit is.
Agreed. Well, that's
Like,
true.
no-
Well, here's the thing. It's trying to do all of it. Like, it's not just that it's not competitive, because NRS is trying to make it competitive. It has made a lot of strides, but they've had a lot of, you know, they've done things from their party era days that directly contradict what a tournament player would need. Like, the fact that we have a new meta every single game, and you know,
See, this is something that's worth making a video essay on. How Mortal Kombat 1 was basically sabotaged by all of the business practices that both NRS and WB as a parent company are contributing. Because here's the problem. Here's why MK1 is really under the gunner. It has nothing to do with this game being worse or better than any of the previous games. It's really society revolving around the game. Twitter is just a lot more active than it was before. A lot of these things are just a lot more of a factor than they were pre-COVID. Mortal Kombat is the first post-COVID fighting game. So it's the first fighting game to be introduced into this wide social justice, people constantly expressing their opinions on the internet type of era. Combine that with the fact that people are honestly just fed up with Mortal Kombat's way of doing things, because what it is that they'll introduce a whole new game with a whole new system, basically unrecognizable from its predecessor, and people will get used to it after 2 years, and then it's like, oh, it's time to do it again. It's like they're gaslighting the community. So it's like, oh, we just got used to this. We're finally starting to like this game. You just give us a new one, and then they start hating on it because they finally got used to the last game, and then people are saying that the last game was better, even though it wasn't better. You just got used to it.
Well, it splits up the community every time, because what happens is, you know, like for instance, we saw this with MK9. Everyone was united under the MK9 meta because
it was the first. People were just happy that the franchise was even back at all.
Right, exactly. Then when MKX came around, now it's like, wait a minute. Either you fucked with MKX because it's the new game and it's Mortal Kombat, or it's like, well, I still prefer the MK9 meta, so I'm not playing that new shit. You know,
and then they'll eventually cave in and play it after they're done complaining, and then they get used to it. Then MK11 comes out. Now, the reason MKX is almost the exception to the rule is that MKX, well, it's because of Injustice, actually. Injustice 2 literally made... Injustice 2 was so bad that MKX literally got a second win. Like, MKX is barely alive now. Like, when people say MKX is still alive, I'm talking like barely. No, in Injustice 2 era, it was so bad that the player base of MKX almost recovered to its launch amount. At launch, Mortal Kombat games average about 50,000 players, right? In 2018, there was an ESL series because Injustice 2 was just that bad. And because of this, combined with more hype, there was like 30,000 active players in MKX. That's ridiculous. The game literally came back from the dead. It was insane. That's how bad Injustice 2 was. Because the game was so zoning heavy that it just made people throw up in their mouth. Like, I don't know if you've actually played that game seriously, but it's so zoning heavy. You couldn't play two matches.
I played it. Yeah. Deadshot damn near killed the game.
No, Deadshot did kill the game.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are objectively one of the best designed DLC characters for a fighting game ever released, and they were still like, nah, bro, I can't do this too much. And then they dare to release them, and then they would dare to put Sub-Zero in that game and make him trash. Like, why? And by the time they fix him, it's like nobody gives a shit anymore. We moved back to MKX anyway. So that's why MKX was almost the exception to the rule.
I bought Injustice 2. That's the only reason, because Sub was in it. If he wasn't there, I wouldn't have got it.
Like people are really shitting on MK1 for being like such a flop. MK1 is not a flop. You want to know what a flop looks like? Look at these Injustice 2 things. People really played the story, then realized this game sucks and just stopped. In 6 months, the game was dead in 6 months. Multiverses lasted longer.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. And everyone's always going to lionize the past game. It's going to happen with Mortal Kombat 2 whenever it comes out. As much shit as people are talking about MK1 now, all that shit is going to be forgotten when the new game comes out and people are...
Especially if the rumors are true, but I hope they're not. All MK1 needs to do is last 1.5 years longer than average, and maybe the community can heal itself. Because this is why it's happening. They just keep making new games every 2 years, and then they're getting surprised as people are getting more and more pissed off. And I guess they just don't care because they're not losing money yet.
Right. Well, that's WB. That's what happens when you have a large corporate entity that doesn't give a damn about the franchise that it's trying to sell to people. Like, Capcom cares about Street Fighter. Namco cares about Tekken. WB does not care about Mortal Kombat. WB cares about money.
The developers care about Mortal Kombat, and I hated that people say that they don't, but they keep getting shafted. MK1 is the definition of a sabotaged masterpiece. Because if you look at the patch notes and the way that the developers are talking about the changes they're implementing into the game, it's clear that these developers are trying. They're really trying.
They're trying. Yes, they're trying.
Like, let me tell you, there's so much evidence that MK1 was supposed to come out in April 2024. Because, one, MK11 came out in April 2019. Ermac was rumored to be a base character, but they couldn't finish him, so they just put him in DLC. And guess when he came out? April 2024. On top of this, a lot of things were finally put into the game around that time, with the exception of online practice mode. There's also another theory that the game was really supposed to come out at the time that Takeda came out, because guess what? That's when online practice mode finally came into the game. And Takeda is also an actual Mortal Kombat character. And both of the theories could be true. One thing that is 100% true is that this game was the most rushed any NRS game has ever been.
Absolutely.
Like, people were using Rush as an excuse to defend MK11. No, MK1 is what an actual Rush game looks like. We still don't have rooms, and at this point, we're probably not even going to get them. They straight up just said, fuck all of these single-player modes. We don't have enough time.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, and that's why I put out those videos talking about corporate malfeasance, because I'm like, listen, people, I've been around. Some of us have been playing this since MK9. We have never dealt with a game that didn't have a full suite of features. Like, every MK game has had a full set of online and offline features. Yes, there's been bugs here and there, but never to this degree. The games all had polish. The brutalities and the fatalities and all that stuff all work the way that they're supposed to. Yet, for some reason, all that shit went away with this game. That tells you that there was interference on behalf of WB.
The worst it's ever had. And honestly, the only reason the sales are not as high as it was been is simply because they released Mortal Kombat 1 too early. If they released it when it was supposed to be released, it would have the same amount of sales that the last game had. MK11 had 15 million sales, MKX had 10 million sales by the time it was over. And MK1 could end up scraping by with 8 million by the time it's all over, but it currently only has 4, which is still more successful than Tekken and Street Fighter, but not by much.
Here's the other problem. MK1 is not on PS4 and Xbox One.
Exactly. And if it was, the game would sell rapidly, because the hype for MK1 is the most hype anybody has been for a Mortal Kombat game in such a long time. Do you know how many views those trailers got? People were like, the only reason MK1 didn't win Game of the Year was because its launch was so bad. Like, it was Sonic 06 bad. People don't want to think that it was Sonic 06 bad because we're still playing it now, but that's just how dedicated the active casual player base actually is. People don't get the casuals enough credit for loving this game. This game is still the most played fighting game right now because all of the Sparking Zero players are done. There are still 150,000 people playing Mortal Kombat, but that's side tangent. The launch was bad. Player one advantage. This game had player one advantage.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Player one advantage. High priced DLC.
Well, actually, you know, looking back at it, the price of the DLC for Mortal Kombat for the first DLC price, it wasn't as bad as it could have been because I remember it being $40, and at first glance that looks bad.
Skins.
Oh, the skins? How much were the skins? Oh yeah, they were $10. I was like, oh, you should kill your. Ooh, actually, let me not finish the sentence. I'm on live. $10 for a skin? Characters don't even cost that much. What?
Right. Like y'all was bugging out. Like you talking about $10 for a fatality?
Like I'm a YouTuber. I make ad revenue, so it's like fine, whatever. But imagine the average person just being like $10 for a skin. You got me.
After COVID, IG, like we still recovering from a pandemic.
They must really think we got money. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, but that's WB. Like, how you gonna like? What other game do you know has an advertisement for a whole nother game in the front of your game?
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. But yeah, worst launch. Honestly, one of the worst launches is at minimum the worst launch in fighting game history. Because I'm trying to look at a game that had a worse launch. Maybe Street Fighter V, but I don't even think Street Fighter V. I don't think it had a bad launch. I just think the game itself was just bad because it wasn't unfinished. It was just bad, and they just made it better.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I mean,
like you can tell MK1 just got shafted. Street Fighter V, they did that on purpose.
Yeah, Street Fighter V. Yeah, that was not. Yeah, it wasn't no excuse for that. The way that shit launched, it wasn't no excuse. It wasn't no corporate interference. No, none of that. They thought it was like 10 years prior or something. Like 10 years ago, Street Fighter V would have been a dope ass game. You know, but in that era where we had full.
You might want to add a few more years. Street Fighter V did come out 10 years ago. Well, it came out 9 years ago, but that's close enough. You might want to add a few more years.
No, I know. I'm saying like
if
it would have launched in 2005 rather than 2015, then it would have been a great game.
Oh, it would have been revolutionary.
The content that it had. Yeah. Because for 2005, not having a story mode and having a lackluster online and, you know what I'm saying, not having an arcade mode would have been acceptable, but not in no 2015, not when we had MKX out. That came out right before that shit, you bugging. You know
yeah, no. Like, and that's another reason why MKX was on top of the world. The other titles were just not competing at the time. Tekken 7 kind of phoned it in. It was fine, but they were clearly playing it safe. Street Fighter 5, Capcom flopped with Street Fighter 5. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was a disaster.
Yes. I remember all that shit.
Didn't even buy it. Disaster. Well, I was also a kid. I don't think people realize how young I am.
Yeah, you sound like a youngin'. You don't sound no older than 24.
Oh, I'm way younger than that. No. I just turned 21. Let me tell you,
Christ, you're a baby.
when did my YouTube channel start popping off? My channel started popping off when I was like 16, 15. Like, so for the longest time, I've been a kid creator. I don't think a lot of people know that. Like, there was this controversy I got into in like 2021 with a tournament or something. And a lot of these guys thought I was some 30-year-old trying to steal money from people. My friends told me the best thing for me to do was to just not even react or respond to the situation. And I was fine with that because it was the most ridiculous conspiracy theory ever. And it was like, I don't even hide the fact that I'm that young. I just don't, like, I don't know what I'm looking for, broadcast it. And when I record videos, I actually do like a voice actor voice, so it makes me sound older than I actually am. But no, I am, for the longest time, I've been a kid creator. I'm a newly adult creator. It's actually kind of ridiculous.
And a lot of viewers are surprised to find that I am not that much older than them, and they get thrown off.
Right. I mean, well, I could tell you sound younger to me. Of course, I turned 36 3 days after before I released the Player One Advantage video.
Happy, extremely belated birthday.
Thank you. Yeah. So that was a very interesting week because I was, I was happy. I celebrated the birthday, and then the bug was discovered, not by me, but it was relayed to me, and then I put out the video, and I didn't know that it would even get any kind of traction. I was hoping that somebody would see it. This is what I wanted to do. I wanted to get Tom Brady to put that video out. I got in contact with him on YouTube. He told me, hey, find me on Twitter. And I tried to make a Twitter, and Twitter was acting a goddamn fool. It blocked me. So I'm like, fuck, I can't get Tom.
Honestly, I used to be really critical of Tom Brady, but honestly, at this point, I just feel bad for him. The guy is just miserable, and I really think he needs to actually retire because he just doesn't seem happy. He just never seems happy. Like, this game has its problems, and it's one thing to complain about the game when the game was actively having a desync issue, but to still talk about it a whole year and 2 months later, now you're just, I don't know, I just think you just need to stop.
And now you're going to go back and lionize MKX and MK11, games that you were way more critical of back in the day.
Let's really talk about MK11. If people want to idolize MKX and MK9, fine. But let's not pretend like MK11 is not one of the worst mainstream fighting games ever made in terms of design, in terms of concept. Mortal Kombat 11 is a bad idea. It was a well-dressed mess. And if I decide to go the video essay route or do like a 1 month time where I just make video essays for a short period of my YouTube career, I'm going to make a video essay titling MK11 a well-dressed mess, because that's exactly what MK11 is. It is a bad game with good graphics, good skins, and a bunch of useless game modes that nobody who actually cares about a fighting game plays. Oh, it has really good customization and crypt and Towers of Time and AI mode. Oh, and the game was so easy, bro. Everything was handed to you. Crushing. What's the point of learning combos when you had a crushing blow that did 40%?
Right. MK11 was so. Here's the thing. I love the fact that it didn't play like MKX, and so that's what I was fixated on. The fact that it was, it had a lot of,
Yeah, run was a little ridiculous.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I was focused on at first. But then I started doing accidental breakaways. Then I started trying to hit people on knockdowns, and they would roll and full combo punish me. You know what I'm saying? Then people started doing flawless block launchers after I poked them. I poke and try to take my turn back, and I get flawless block reversal and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, hell no. What is this shit? Or then I just walk in neutral and get killed with a fatal blow. That's unreactable. You know what I'm saying? Like, ugh.
It's just a well-dressed mess. It is everything about the game is just handed to you. The only thing that took skill was flawless block reversals, but that's just bad competitively. Because it's like, oh, let me just walk up, block, ding dong, like flawless block reversal up to, like... I mean, it's sweaty, but it's also fuck you, because why?
Right. Yeah. MK11 was. It's so weird to see people lionize that game. I'm like, you motherfuckers ain't got. They're just
straight up lying. It's not even just saying I prefer MK11. Yes. They're just straight up saying things that aren't true to justify why MK11 is better. MK11 had better combos. I was literally about to. This one combo I'm about to show you is better than anything that Sub-Zero could do in that game. And I am probably the most viewed combo artist from that time period. So I know what I'm talking about. I didn't even finish it, and that's already better than 90% of what you would see in that game. Like, lies.
We're a year in almost 2 years into this game, and people are still seeing new combos that we haven't seen yet.
This is the most creative fighting game they have ever made from NRS, and that's saying something because MKX exists, and people are hesitant to say that, but then but if you really get into it, yes, that's 100% true. If I really wanted to, I could make these combo videos that I'm making hour long, but I really, and I mean heavily condense them. That's why my guides are so long. They're like the Sub-Zero guide is like an hour 42 minutes. This new guide that I'm about to drop is gonna be 42 minutes, and I actually tried to condense that one. Like it goes into so much detail.
Yeah, the video I just dropped was an hour and 20 minutes. I call it the Sub-Zero movie.
The Shujinko segment alone is just 60 minutes of me explaining every little thing you can do with every possible matchup with Shujinko.
Yeah, and you have to because the Shujinko combo depends on your opponent.
And you get really so much shit. And honestly, like I said, there are a handful of opponents where Shujinko is just your best option because you're legitimately two-touching them. And because of Shujinko's recharge rate, you can honestly just keep looping things too. There's just so much. Yeah. Against Ermac, Sub-Shujinko versus Ermac is a 9-1 matchup.
Really?
Yes, the shit you can do to him is like actually insane. And then there's weird hitbox glitches where you can like OS his armor and then actually force him to kill himself, and then he accidentally messes up some damage scaling, like a bunch of glitches, and then his armor's just really bad. His armor's really bad against the mid-screen setup. There's like a 1 in 5 chance he can armor and it will miss.
What?
For lack of a better word, miss. It doesn't happen often, but like in general, Ermac's reaction when it comes to Sub-Zero's ice clone setups for a lot of his teams, they don't function well. Another team that I think destroys Ermac, especially in the corner, is Sub-Goro, because what will happen is that Goro will take the hit, and then the Ice Clone doesn't get broken. So his armor will only hit Goro and not the Ice Clone, and then he gets a guaranteed back 3 into God knows how much damage. It's disgusting. He actually dies for trying to get out of anything.
That's amazing. But that's the shit this is what I was trying to get, the people on my platform to do, is really go in this fucking lab, take my little setups that I come up with, try to see if you can modify them and fit them to your cameo, you know what I'm saying, and see what you can come up with. Because I use Serena mostly, but everybody's not going to use Serena. I have a Sub-Zero Sector person that be in my comments. I have a Sub-Zero Scorpion player. I have a Sub-Zero Goro player. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hold up. One of those teams is actually. Ooh. Now I want to get back on topic because now you just made me think of a bunch of teams. Sub-Zero is one of the few characters where I actually have something to say about every team, but this is something we're talking about. Sub-Darius. That his team has always been interesting. Why did that go? So that's something new. Hold on, let me try to get the Yeah, there's an optimal mid-screen combo that I haven't even been going for. That's kind of messed up. Something like this. Anti blockable. Into another hot blockable. And they lost.
Right.
That's kind of all this team is. It's one of those assists where it was like, it doesn't really help them from full screen at all. Whoops. Now I'm just making stuff up. Hold on. Why is that happening? Yeah. So literally, you don't even need to do the new stuff because his old stuff works just fine. So like in the corner you could do this. And then let's see. This is hard blockable, but it's kind of gimmicky. This is a less gimmicky hard blockable.
Oh shit.
And then this is a plus 20 on block. So what that does is that it automatically breaks armor. It'll do plus 20 if it just lands. If they block it, it's plus 8. And if you delay your wake up, it'll still hit you and lead to a combo, if I time it. Like that. That I can confirm. So that's what this team is. It's literally just Oki's MA, but it's like the weakness with this team is very obvious, where it's like he doesn't help. The only thing Darius really has is this. So like I could land this. I don't know. That's something, I guess. And not really.
Yeah.
But it's a fun team at the very least. I used to believe in this team, but now I feel like the only thing this team offers is a grab combo. That's not nothing, but Sub-Zero just needs a restand for this team. If they give Sub-Zero a restand, this is officially his best team. I'll tell you that right now. Because God, it's just another Scorpion Bear at that point, but they're not going to get that. I'm surprised they gave Smoke that.
Oh, I know. Damn. It's very interesting to watch people talk about.
Ooh, I totally forgot to talk about Movado. This is why Movado is the reason I've had such a big problem actually making a cameo synergy tier list, because he just breaks it.
Oh, yeah.
So what this character does to you is a little bit insane. So
Yes. Love that.
that actually works. Hold on, let me not mess it up. That actually freezes, but the timing is weird. But you can make it easier on yourself by just doing it in reverse. Let me do it right. So I get the setup. The reason you would do it in reverse is to stop people from, is to make sure you're still plus if they block it. But you can actually remove this mix entirely by doing this setup instead. So what that is a hard to blockable into an ice clone setup. This setup will most likely hit land, like they're most likely just gonna get hit. Here's what happens if they delay their wake up. If I time it right, there actually is no delaying your wake up. It's a one-frame link, but basically the OTG will force them to get hit by the kick. But what will most likely happen is what you just saw. So I'll try to do it, the jumping to a whiff, but they'll still get hit by the low, and then this will happen. But because I hit them with the OTG, they actually have to hold that mix. So it's real. That.
Right.
And if I enhance it, obviously that's true mix, because now they're dealing with this now. And it just loops into itself. Team has a very ridiculous corner game, but that's nothing new. What does it do from mid-screen? A lot, actually. This is just as good as what Frost does for sub. It might even be better, actually. In fact, and this is actually better in a lot of situations. So this is better against people who use sub cameo against him. I would actually say I would prefer this team over Serena and Chameleon against people whose best team is like a team with Sub-Zero. So for example, a Kitana sub or a Noob sub, I would use Movado over Chameleon or Serena for this. Because they're just going to use sub cameo to get out of Jade, Glade, or Serena shit and then do nonsense. Like
Right.
Noob will literally just look at you, do Serena for full screen, and then teleport and kill you. That's not gonna work here. And then this can punish a lot of things that Sub-Zero normally can't punish for full screen. Like, I would use this team against Scorpion in particular. This team actually destroys Scorpion, actually.
Yes, it does. because it'll punch gas.
Also, this is the best slide cameo team up in the game because I'll never mistime it. I'm messing that up for some reason. Why?
Wouldn't even...
You know, I can just finish it. Just a very fun team. It's well-rounded. It gives them a lot. And it also gives them the same shit. It also gives them shit in the footsie department because I forgot to talk about that. This is plus. This jails in its plus. This also jails in its plus, which will obviously lead into this mind game. So that's always nice. Free hit confirms, obviously. Good damage. Oh, hold on. That was being slow. Like, this team just has a lot. It's really good. It's just that Sonya does a few things slightly better, and then Chameleon does a few other things slightly better. And then there are a lot of teams that do the corner things slightly better, although not as safe. This is probably the safest team to use the Ice Clone setups with, because I legitimately do not see anybody getting out of this advantageously. That actually frees, but my timing sucks. I just don't see this working out for anybody, for people 90% of the time. Unless they fuck that up. But honestly, that's the hard thing. The hard one was the hard one. You don't even need to go that far. That will armor break. Armor is the easiest thing for it to deal with. Really, delayed wake up is the annoying part. Because this beats it, but just barely. This definitely beats it. This kind of beats it. Oh, it also works off of... You can also do this off a slide. But I prefer to enhance the clone in that situation, so I can still armor break. They go that route. And it gives you more time, so that clone definitely comes back. But the clone push is better, for obvious reasons. Oh, and also, the clone push also gives you... You could just commit to the hard blockable. And you get unscaled damage. Like, I showed it in the combo guide, where you can actually get 50% off of this. Speaking of 50%, you also just get damage with this team. So this team kind of just gives you a little bit of everything.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Oh, it's even better. That actually confirms it into the triple clone setup, because you can do the triple clone setup in the corner. So literally, I could do that full thing you just saw. Ugh, I'm supposed to go into that. Yeah.
You gotta jump.
And then Movado comes back, so then you get max damage. Blah 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 blah. So this team honestly just does a little bit of everything. The recharge rate is good. It does everything good. Just nothing great, with the exception of the hard to block. Well, that's great. Everything else is just good, so it's a really solid team. It's so well-rounded that it's actually, I think I would call this a starter pack team. And I don't know why I didn't bring this up, why I didn't think about this team earlier, because this is also a good starter pack team. This team actually helps you out most of the time. It gives you a little bit of what you need for every single situation. You can make this team work irregardless. This team is just... There's another team I want to talk about. Where is it? I don't know how much you pay attention to Sikander, but I occasionally look at him on Twitter. He was recently gassing up this team. Probably because he can do this. Why did it drop? Why did it drop? It's just dropping. Maybe I'm timing this wrong. Yeah, I'm timing this wrong. I need to do this earlier. In case I never land it, this is supposed to be like 52% for 2 bars. But obviously doing this somehow, that's going to lead to 55%, which is great. And I think he also has a grab combo. But the state of timing is stuck is a little bit amazing. See, I dropped it. Drop it again.
Oh, what the hell?
So this team allows you to play strike throw with good damage. That's what this team does at face value. And then it also has this.
Yeah.
Messing that up. Blah, 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 blah. And that's going to lead into another setup, and then you can get another bomb combo for another TOD. So that's what that team. So that's what this team is. I think it's good. I don't know how great it is in actuality because ouch. I forgot how this team works.
Why did you set up a clone?
Yeah, that's where this team falls apart. His clone is so strong that this team is kind of redundant now.
What you do is, you know, instead of you using clone in the combo, you do the knockdown or what have you, set up a clone or what have you, and still have the Cyrax bomb out. That way, the opponent has to decide between, do I get frozen by this clone? Do I try to hit this bomb? You know what I'm saying? And then you use the clone to stop them from moving. That way you can hit them into the bomb.
I'm interested. Let me think about that. So, if I could somehow make this work. If I could somehow make that work, we could be in a situation where this character does ridiculous damage. I don't know. Like this team, I feel like this team just needs more experimenting because the way I understand this team, it was when this used to be a charge cameo, which meant its recovery was a lot better, and you could basically loop the setup that I showed you earlier. But that's not really the case anymore. This is kind of a one-shot situation. This is really good with a cameo like Smoke because he has a lot of impact moves that have a lot of damage killing if you combo into it. Sub-Zero has this, but it doesn't work that well with Bomb because this is what will happen. Now I know what you're thinking. What if I just move the Bomb? That will happen. So even if I can make it to where it doesn't technically hit Sub-Zero because Sub-Zero is stabbing him, he's still going to get blown up. So you can't get ridiculous damage. Smoke can play that way because if I hit them, you're losing like 60-something%.
Right.
Like, it's actually a really strong... Smoke Saga is actually a really strong team for a bunch of reasons. And it's, like, this team is far from useless because this is definitely something. But, like, if this is the only thing this team is going for in the long run, just play Serena... I don't know. I feel like this just needs something. It just needs... It needs some creativity. It needs some labbing, and I just don't like this team enough to want to do that.
Let me... What you can do is...
Oh, I forgot that's a whole thing. I need to start doing that, because there are a lot of cameos I can use that for. Serena can do that.
Yeah, so let's go mid-screen here. So, I like this. Look into the corner. Okay, so you're not close enough to push them all the way there. But what I was thinking was, so you push them. And that's what you have. You know, you have your setup, and then you have your boy come out.
See, what I'm trying to think of is like, trying to think of like the end game, like what are these catches? This is something that's in my head, right? Something like, but bomb doesn't come out, so that's what we're doing. Like, if I could do something with this, well, see, now it's working, so make up your mind, game. I'm still getting blown up, so I don't know. This is where this team loses me. Hold on, we might have gone somewhere, and we lost it. Actually, no. Let's see something. What is that damage getting? Right, this is... Wait, I can tell. What first we need is... Damn it! They didn't even work, but let's just see what happens. Oh my god, this Maxima can barely handle... So it did slightly more damage, so let's see what happens if I actually do this right. Maybe I could... So it's whiffing. Okay. Oh, that works! So I actually have enough time to do that. So that's one way I could do it.
So that's an armor free.
I'm trying to think. Because it's throwing me off. I wonder if I could... Maybe?
Oh shit.
Maybe if I could just move him out of the way before I do this. We might have something. That's so abstract. Okay, let's just see what that does. Could be optimized for more, but let's just see what happens. Okay, it's doing more damage, so we're getting somewhere. Please don't crash. It's still on low ping. Come on. Fix. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if we can get this out somehow, set this up, land this. The bomb doesn't hit you. So if I can land that bomb at all, it's actually kind of funny. Every single time I do it and it detonates, I run the risk of breaking the game. Like breaking the session. It'll fix eventually, but it's like, it really takes a minute. That's something! Okay, so... Okay, we might have something. So, I can set it up off of this. Oh, they're actually all combos, so I don't want that. I want to force them to eat this next time. Whoops! That's a unique animation. It's still combo. That's so weird. Maybe I just do a... What is this frame rate on some of this stuff? Oh. That's plus 32. That's actually perfect. No, actually, no, the hit advantage is 16. What is this? 14. 9. That's bad. 7. 16. 10. 16. 13. I guess this is what I would do. And then just force the next. Grab. So I forgot to enhance the clock. Oh, I backdashed. I don't even need to do that. Oh no, I'm not forgetting to enhance it. I just don't have that amount of time. Okay, well that blows that up. Okay, let's worry about how I get to this. Yeah, that's where it throws me off, because that's literally what this is supposed to be now. It's supposed to be like some type of ridiculous cash out, but I just can't get it to work without Sub-Zero getting hit.
Right.
That's where the thing just falls apart. But if I could somehow hit them with it, then I can't even get that far. This shit is so high execution for no reason. Fuck! Okay. Nope. Oh yeah. Okay. So I guess I gotta bring this thing out first. I think that means. There we go. Finally. So what is this gonna do? This better might not be trash. This is garbage. Do you want to know why this is garbage? Why are you dropping? You have a better chance of just landing a brawl back 2 than that incomplete setup. And this is what I get for doing something that's frankly way more likely to actually happen than whatever that Frankenstein's mixture is. 60%. So yeah, no. In terms of like what this team is supposed to be, Sub-Zero just can't do it. He literally just can't. It's too expensive, too many resources. You're literally just better off playing this team like a strike throw team, with this just thrown in. Because they just straight up changed how the bomb works, which kind of ruins how this team was previously designed. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. I guess if you want damage, you can play him, but like there's also just Shujinko.
Yeah.
What other teams are there? Maybe we might have gone through everything. Kano, this team annoys me. Kung Lao, this team annoys me even more because it's not really for Sub-Zero.
Yeah. But hey, let me get off because you know what I'm saying, it's Christmas.
And it's the middle of the night.
Spending time with the wife and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Crack open these gifts and whatnot. But let's do this again before the New Year's is over with, because this right here was an education.
Most definitely. Hit me up whenever. I'll make the time.
Will do. Absolutely. I think this is fantastic. guys have a very Merry Christmas, and we'll do this again.
Yep. Thanks for coming by.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Peace.
All right, guys, I think that's a really good stopping point for two reasons. My friends have been blowing up my phone, and actually, this is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much. Oh my God, I was supposed to end the stream an hour ago.